Hello? My mic wasn't working. Like I hit the button and it wasn't working. And then I noticed that it wasn't lit up and I'm like, what's going on? Hey, it's 4 to 42. I'm Rob. How's it going? Good to see you. Sorry about the problem right off the bat. But hey, we're here and we're doing the thing. So I'm happy to see you guys. I really am. Ninjinzu was first. He was first today. Not that style, folks. No, it was Ninjinzu today. So, hey, thank you. Thank you for giving me something new. And Rufus, thank you for asking how I am. I'm doing well, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. And hey, just to update you, my wife is doing well. She had her surgery on Monday. Everything went perfectly. In fact, it went so quickly that I wasn't even in the room when she came out of recovery because I thought I had like a lot more time. So, hey, everything went well. She is at home recovering. It's been kind of rough on her because she's not used to being, you know, like, look, I mean, she was, the tides were turned. You know what I mean? Like before, she was taking care of me, and now she's like in pain and can't eat a whole lot and hurts to get up and all that kind of stuff. So we've just been dealing with it. We've been dealing with it, but she's doing a lot better now. She's doing a lot better now. The last couple of days, all I've been doing is basically taking care of her and what she needs. At first she had trouble getting out of bed and all that kind of stuff. I was helping with that. Then it was uh hey, can you get this for me? Can you go get this, from the store? Can you go get the medication I need and all that, that kind of stuff. Basically running around doing stuff for her, which is fine. It's an easy. Let me just tell you, as as much as it can be, one of those things where it's like, man, just been running around all day. It's nothing compared to what she had to do for me. So, hey, it's the least I can do is to help her in this trying time. But she like today, every day she's gotten better. So Monday, man, it was rough, you know. And then Tuesday was a little bit better. Today she's even better than that. Um, all we need to do is get her appetite back. That's pretty much where we are. So thank you guys for all your well wishes. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're good. And I told her, hey, you need something? Text me. So I may have to run, go do something, you know? So we'll just see how it goes. But I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad, and I'm glad. Look, it's kind of nice to have, in a weird way, this is kind of like a break. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So gosh, I mean, what do you guys want to talk about? There's so much news happened this week. I mean, gaming news, streaming news, movie news. It's like all the entertainment stuff is happening this week. I mean, I think probably some of the biggest gaming news is that all the freaking price hikes, right? I mean, it's just like, golly. I mean, look, that's what happens when you impose tariffs. It's just it's gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, it's hit each topic rapid fire. Well, I don't want to do that because then I'd just be done, you know. But I mean, I do have a few things and some things that I've watched this week. What is? Oh, you can actually see that right there on the corner. It's not a secret. It's just, it's what I've been doing. I decided to let someone else win this time while I'm building both these custom gaming PCs for a couple. Hey, that sounds pretty awesome. It's funny because I'm not a huge PC guy, right? I haven't been in about 20 years, but I really like putting them together. Like it's kind of like grown up Lego. in a weird way, you know? And it's just fun to get everything together and get everything set up. And I like that. I used to love that, doing that. It's like, oh man, I got to rebuild, I got to reinstall Windows and get it all back to the way it was. I'm like, I'll do it for you. You know, that's just, isn't that weird? I think it's weird. Maybe it's not. There's something comforting about watching that little progress bar, you know? Anyway, and Frodus Boy, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, it's getting it, you know, like, you know, I've kind of, I don't know, they're at the end there, you know, when I was still doing PC stuff, I had a full, like, basically a checklist of everything I needed to install in the order I needed to install it. Like, okay, this is going to need a restart so I can do, and this is going to need a restart so I can install both of those and then restart for both of them. And basically I got it down to kind of a science. Now with Mac, you just don't even have to worry about it because it's all like automatic. As long as you're doing backups, man, it's automatic. You get a new Mac, you log into it, and it's basically like, hey, do you want this backup from yesterday? Yeah, that's what I want. Bam. It's all there and it's just ready to go. And it's so easy. But yeah. And it's fun rebuilding, reinstalling, all that stuff. I like it. But like I said, lately it's just been it's so damn easy, you know? And especially if you get like a new iPhone, new iPad, same thing. Which backup do you want? Well, look at there. Hi, Cosma. I'm not going to say that because I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying that. In fact, there's a movie that I might get in trouble for saying. But I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't we start with some of the things that I watched this week? Just get that, just knock that right out. How's that? Gotta make room here. First up, Warner Archive. I had 4 more in the Warner Archive. So let's do it. Gun Crazy. This is kind of a noir. This was on the list of like best noir movies. What's cool about this one is the camera techniques that they were using. Like there's some kind of thing, some kind of rig that they had in the back of a car. So it's basically, it's in between the two of them as you're driving, and then she gets out and the camera kind of follows her out of the car, and then she does something and then she gets back in the car, and then they keep driving, and it's like all in one shot. It's kind of cool. So that kind of thing was neat. And this was from 1949, this movie. I am just going to say it. This was okay. It was fine. Like, I can see why, it was important at the time, but like, I'll honestly probably never watch this one again, but I did enjoy it. So there you go. Oh, and there was a pretty good commentary. I did listen to the commentary, and then, the documentary was actually pretty good too. So this one actually came with some special features. Not all of them do. But then, Warner Archive, right? I got the Tex Avery collection. And I'm telling you, every single great Tex Avery cartoon is on here. Is on one of these discs. Actually, these two were the winners, 2 and 3. Number 1 had some good stuff, but some of the older stuff that I was kind of like, eh. But what's great about these is that the quality is just so good. I would like to know if anybody knows like the name of their favorite Tex Avery cartoon, because I can tell you the name of mine. Billy Boy. Remember that one? With the wolf that's kind of he's kind of slouched, and then as he walks, he just kind of slaps his feet and he does the, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? That thing? And then it's the little goat that eats everything. Billy Boy. Why, hello, Billy. It's just my favorite. It's my favorite one. And yeah, that was on there. And I was actually kind of worried because it was toward the end on volume 3. But then also volume 2 has is it Ventriloquist Cat? That's one of my favorites too. And it's because toward the end of the ventriloquist, he's basically throwing his, it's a cat that's throwing his voice, right? Meow, meow. I don't know if you remember this. Okay? I don't know. But anyway, what happens is he gets chased up. He basically throws the ventriloquist thing away, and he's all like, ha ha ha, meow, ha ha, meow. And then the dogs are all looking at him, and they chase him up a telephone pole. And when they chase him up there, he's all like, nah, 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 and he's meow, 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 meow. But one of the dogs is up there, and he goes, meow, 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 meow. And then they're chasing up and down the telephone pole. But for some reason, the way that works, the way that I just love it. I love that, man. It's so good. And then there's actually 2 episodes that are very similar. There's one with I think his name is Spike the dog, but it's not the Tom and Jerry Spike. It's the, let me see if I can show you. Yes. That is the Tex Avery Spike, okay? It says Butch Dog, but they named him Spike on the, get out of here with your ad blocker. That one. So it's one where he has a job basically looking out for a hibernating bear, but the bear wants everything quiet. Quiet. You hear me? Quiet. Keep it quiet, and all that stuff. And he's yelling at him. And then there's another little dog that's basically trying to basically get the job. So he keeps doing things to try to, mess up Spike. So Spike, he's like, he hits his leg, bop, and then he runs out and he runs up the hill and then he's like, ow, or whatever. Dude, that one cracks me up. But there's another one, and it's a droopy version where it's the wolf, that same kind of wolf character, and then this other little squat dog, right? And it's set in the Old West, and it's the same sort of thing where if you make a sound, then the sheriff will come in and do whatever, right? But Droopy keeps trying to, do things to those 2 guys because they're trying to break in and get something. Anyway, same sort of concept. They get hurt, they run up the hill, and they, ow! And then there's one where, drinking a bunch of milk, and they has to run and then get burped, and they're so funny. They're so funny. But I love these, man. I love these. I'm glad I have these. I really want to collect the Tom and Jerry ones, but there's only, I think they're going to do more than one, because they did one recently where it was the CinemaScope, where it's all in scope. I love those, man. They're just so good. And here's something I didn't realize. So Tex Avery and Tom and Jerry, they shared some of the same resources on the MGM lot, but they had 2 different offices. And there are things that Tex Avery did that Tom and Jerry stole. And then there are things that Tom and Jerry did that Tex Avery and his team stole. And then something I didn't realize is that Tex Avery created Bugs Bunny. I didn't know that. And he's the one that came up with What's Up, Doc. I just think that's cool. That was on one of the documentaries here. I think it was on the first disc. I think, or the second disc. No, it's the second. The second disc has it's called Tex Avery, King of Cartoons, which honestly is probably out there on the internet somewhere. But I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching that and learning more about Tex Avery because I love Tex Avery. He's great. But I didn't realize that Tom and Jerry and Tex Avery were on the same lot and that they were kind of competing against one another, which I think is kind of neat. I don't know. And you'll know this if you watch some of the Tom and Jerry, like 30-minute. I don't know if anybody has like cable television anymore, but when there would be like the Tom and Jerry section, it would be like 30 minutes, right? Sometimes they would play a Tex Avery cartoon in there and it wouldn't have anything to do with Tom and Jerry, but it was directed or produced by Fred Quimby, with the, script, and usually it's the same guy doing the music. It's just interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that there was probably something, because it was all MGM, but I didn't know that they were basically competing against each other. I just think that's cool. So I learned a lot, and it was fun. The next movie is the movie that I might get in trouble for saying, but it's the first Indian movie that I've watched in a very, very long time. And this one got a lot of attention last year because, well, instead of going the normal route that Indian movies do, uh, they decided to basically go on the circuit for film festivals, and it actually got a distributor here in the United States from Lionsgate, and then kind of a sub licensor or something, Roadside Attractions, and that is for the movie Kill. Now, if you've heard of this movie basically almost all of it takes place on a train, and it is really good. And one of the things that I really like about this from an Indian movie point of view is that it's not 3 or 4 hours long. It's an hour and 45 minutes. The problem is that it still feels slow in spots. And I think part of that is just that, there are times when, you kind of want, you need a little break, from the action. But I didn't care to see what the bad guys, reactions to this guy basically killing everybody, all the bad guys on the train. I didn't care. Like, they were all crying and being really upset about it, and I'm like, you guys suck. I don't care about you, and you don't deserve my pity. So let's move on to the hero of the story. But this guy, um what's it, Lakshita? I think every time that they pronounced it in the little documentaries, which is kind of cool because it's actually got documentaries. Laksha is how they pronounced it. First time actor. But dude, this guy got in incredible shape, and you would never know it by watching it that this is his first movie. It was fantastic. Now, here's the other thing. This goes way beyond any other Indian movie I've ever seen as far as how violent this, movie is. It gets like crazy, and we're talking about with smashing dudes' heads and freaking knives, and it's crazy. It's nuts. And what's weird is I never knew exactly how things were going to go down. And that's what was kind of cool about it, is that because something happens that basically changes the whole game, right? If you've seen this movie, something happens that you're like, it was a shock. I'm not going to lie. I was like, whoa, I didn't think that was going to happen. And when it happened, the entire movie at that point changes, and it gets nuts. And it's very, very impressive how they shot this movie. There's the documentaries that are on here, show a lot of the behind the scenes stuff about how they built the train, and how they use different lights to make it, on the outside going by to make it look like it's a moving train. And the way that they were moving, there's a motor on the bottom of the train to give it the little shake of a train. And then what it would do is they say, okay, the action today is going to be taking place in this train car, so let's move the walls out so we can put the camera there, so they have the room. But it's so claustrophobic. This movie's really good. And if you and I think it, in general, it doesn't matter that it's an Indian film, it's just really good. So highly recommended. And I don't think there's anything, I can't remember if there's anything in here. Oh, no. It's just a 4K and a Blu-ray. Yeah. But very impressed. Very impressed with this. And again, Lionsgate put this out. So this is the first, not only the first Indian movie I've seen in a long time, it's the only Indian film, at least to my knowledge, that was ever recommended to me that I could actually buy a 4K disc of. And that's a thing. I'm just going to say that's a thing. So India, if you want more of us, over here in the States to watch your movies, get with a distributor. Get with a distributor. You'll actually make some money and more people will see your films. Because I wouldn't have watched it otherwise. So, there you go. I enjoyed it. You should check it out. I mean, if you're up for that. The next movie is a movie that, look, I have the DVD of this. And I was like, I don't really know if the 4K is going to be worth it. And it was a big bad limited edition that I skipped out on because it was kind of expensive. And I'm like, I ended up getting the standard edition on sale. The Final Countdown. Now, if you don't know what this movie is, I think that's the original US art, and then this is the Japanese art, I think. But if you don't know what this movie is, I don't think there's anything extra cool in here. No, it's just the disc. This was made in 1980, or it came out in 1980, 1979. And so an aircraft carrier, naval aircraft carrier from the US, goes through a storm that takes them back in time to December 6th, 1941, the day before Pearl Harbor. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. And of course, with their firepower, they could probably change the scope of the war. And a lot of the movie is dealing with the real life ramifications of that. And also, how would you figure out that all of a sudden you're not in the correct time period? You're in the middle of the sea. So it's kind of interesting watching this play out. I mean, now here's the thing. I've seen this movie countless times. Okay. I used to watch this movie a lot when I was a kid. Didn't get everything, didn't understand everything. Watching it again, it was like, wow, this is actually pretty well thought out. The problem is, well, it just doesn't really go anywhere. So basically, they learn, oh, hey, we're back in time. And that's pretty much it. So there's no changing of anything, but there's some interesting things that happen in this movie. Now, what's cool about this movie is that if you're a fan of the F-14 Tomcat, this movie absolutely shows that thing off in really, really cool fashion. This is almost like I could see, naval recruiters playing this movie if it was available on home video before Top Gun came out, because this movie shows off what living on an aircraft carrier is like. So in a weird way, this is kind of like a recruitment film. There's a lot of naval things that happen, and you get to see what life on a aircraft carrier is like. I mean, glimpse. But man, it's got Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen. Let's see, who else? Catherine Ross, James Ferrantino, Ron. I don't know who Ron O'Neal is, but Charles Durning. Now, here's the funny thing: this was Lloyd Kaufman, his first Hollywood film. And if you know who Lloyd Kaufman is, he's one of the creators of Troma. And what happened is he wanted to work on a big Hollywood film to see if he could hack it in Hollywood. And after this movie, he kind of said, I don't think Hollywood's for me. I think I'd rather go the independent route. So it was really, really interesting because there's actually on the special features, there's an interview with Lloyd Kaufman, and he's actually in the movie. But this was a lot of fun, man. This is a lot of fun. Does it make sense 100% of the time? No. Is it a little bit of a, does it jerk you around a little bit? I mean, look, maybe a little bit, but if you're a fan of the F-14 Tomcat, this is a fun movie. And look, I gotta be honest, I don't know if it needed to be in 4K. Now, is it the best that it's ever looked? Sure. But this isn't going to be the highlight of your, oh my God, you got to see this in 4K. It doesn't look, it's not a great looking film. But anyway, there you go. Final Countdown. And then the last thing that I want to show you is just something I'm watching. And And again, I know some of you are going to go, but Rob, don't you have a watch list of like 700 movies that we've recommended you? Yes. Yes, I do. So why are you watching this, even though it's something that you've seen before, especially kind of recently? Well, I wanted to see what it looked like. Andor. Now, I'm only on the first 4 episodes, but holy crap, this looks so good. And I mean, granted, it never looked bad on Disney Plus, but the fact that I kind of feel like I'm supporting the efforts of something like this because this is such a good thing. And it's the best Star Wars. To me, Andor is the best Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back. You can quote me on that. And you can disagree if you want, but you're wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Everybody's got their own opinions or whatever. But this is my favorite Star Wars thing since Empire Strikes Back. And I'm not including Rogue One with this. I'm saying Andor is the best thing since Empire Strikes Back. Just saying. But there's a couple of bonuses on here. That's what the back of it looks like. I think those they're kind of like featurettes that they probably were on Disney Plus, because as I was watching them, because they're all on the first disc, they looked familiar. Also comes with this concept art stuff, which is kind of cool, kind of neat. But yeah, I'm still in the middle of watching it, and I gotta say, I'm happy I bought this, and I'm ready for them to go ahead and release season 2, because I'll buy that too. Just like I'm gonna buy Arcane season 2 when that comes out. So basically, any streaming show that I really really like, if they're gonna release it on physical media, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it because I want to show my support for it. So like I said, I'm still in the middle of Andor, but that's what I watched this week. And look, I probably could have watched a little more, but man, it's been kind of busy. Like I said, wife having surgery and all. So, but that's all good. Now, as far as what I'm reading, I've said before, I've been reading the what do you call it? The Brandon Sanderson stuff. The Mistborn Wave 2, the Wax and Wayne saga, I guess. I don't know what you call it. The middle era. I don't know what he's calling it. I can't remember. But anyway, I've been reading that. That was good. And then I started reading this tome, The Dark Tower Beginnings. Now, this covers some of the same ground as some of the things in the book, in the books, I guess, of The Dark Tower. But the artwork is fantastic. There's some great looking stuff in here. Some of it is very, very graphic, but beautifully written, beautifully illustrated. I believe Jay Lee is the artist here. I was gonna try to find something cool. That's not like, super graphic, but it's awesome. It's awesome. And if you're a fan of the Dark Tower and you have not read these, and you're hungry for a little more Dark Tower, this is pretty well priced on Amazon. It collects all of the beginnings stuff. It's good. It's really good, and it's a lot of Roland as a young man, and it's good. It's good. I'm almost finished with that. And then I don't know what the next thing I'm going to read is. But I did also pick up Supergirl, The Woman of Tomorrow, because that's what the Supergirl movie is going to be. I also have in the list book-wise, I have The Long Walk and The Running Man, because I'm pretty sure I never read the Bachman books. So I've got that on my Kindle, ready to go for when I'm finished with the comics. So once I'm done with this, I'll move on. I think the next book is The Thin Man, the last of the Dashiell Hammett full novels, and then yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, so hey, it's been fun. It's been a fun week of of reading and watching stuff. Um, I, I'm, yeah. Hopefully, April keeps getting better and I can focus on, other things. I mean, not that I don't mind taking care of her, but it's kind of like, geez, you know what I mean? So anyway, I thought I remember it being Tom and Jerry as the voice throwing one. No, no, it's called Ventriloquist Cat. Now, like I said, the Tex Avery cartoon Ventriloquist Cat would usually come on during the Tom and Jerry hour or whatever. You know what I mean? Or 30-minute block. They would play Tex Avery cartoons in with Tom and Jerry because they're both MGM. But no, it's not a. But sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Yeah. Uh, don't forget to like you knobs. Hey Rufus, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Man, every like, every subscribe, all that stuff, that helps. Whether it's on this channel or any other YouTube channel that you like, if you want to support them, that's one of the best ways that you can support them is watch their content, comment, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. I know people say it all the time. I don't like saying it because it gets old. But yeah, it's fun. And Bucho, welcome Bucho. And he says the Final Countdown is my top 3 historical aviation documentaries. Not sure it's a documentary, but hey. Look, I like the movie. Again, Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen, they're pretty good. And actually, James Ferrantino is really good too. Everybody in the movie is really good. It's just, it's almost like they said, man, let's take that idea and kind of lean into it a little bit more. But no, they kind of just, hey, that's what happens. And then credits roll and you're like, okay, all right. Well, that was fun, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing. But there's also the scene with the 2 F-14 Tomcats basically bullying 2 Japanese Zeros from 1941. And that's an interesting scene, seeing how they're reacting to it. And of course the Tomcats are all over them. And it's just fun, man. It's kind of a fun movie. And it's weird because I never really, okay, so the limited edition, right? The 4K limited edition of the Final Countdown comes with the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the CD of the music. And I was like, I'm never going to listen to that CD. There's no point in me getting that. And if I have it in 4K, why would I need the Blu-ray? So no problem not getting the limited edition. I can just get the 4K disc and be done with it, right? The problem is the soundtrack is actually pretty good, and it's pretty catchy, but it's fine. It's fine. If I want to listen to the music, I'll probably just watch the movie again. I went to the store, I get back, and Bucho's here now. I can let my guard down. Star Fox was making me nervous, but now I've got... Did I miss you talking about Gun Crazy? I talked about it briefly. Basically, all I'm saying... Thank you, Goblin, by the way, and hello. Hello and welcome and thank you for saying, nice thing about my wife. I appreciate that. But Shozama, Gun Crazy is a good movie, but it's not the kind of movie that I would watch over and over. It's like, oh, that was interesting, and oh, it's kind of neat that the main thing that really sticks out about that movie is the way that they have the camera rig in the back seat. And that when she gets out of the car, the camera follows her out. So it kind of looks like it's one shot. And then the camera goes back in when she gets back in and they drive off. It's kind of neat. But it's also like, okay. Because it's basically a Bonnie and Clyde type story. You got the guy who grew up with guns, doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life. Falls in love with this girl who's also big into guns. And they decide to hold up banks and stuff. And it's like, all right. So it's a lot like a lot of other, sort of like, femme fatale type sort of thing. But it's also a lot like Bonnie and Clyde with the crime and all that kind of stuff. But what's funny is He doesn't want to kill anybody. That's like the big thing. He doesn't want to kill anybody, and she doesn't care. So it's kind of it's interesting, but it was also like, okay, I'm ready to move on to the next one. You know what I mean? So anyway, it is warm in here. I am going to turn the air down because it is stuffy in here. Come on. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn it down to 71. That'll be good. So anyway, yeah. So what else is up? What's up with you guys? What's what's going on? Because I got things to show you, or news and things. If y'all want to just jump into that. This was funny. I am going to bring this up. Cosma posted it, and it's something I saw on the internet too. Is Paramount? They did this thing. We're going to stream Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning on YouTube in about 15 minutes, and it ended up being the full script streamed in Morse code. So I'll tell you, man, Paramount's on a roll, man. They're taking some risks. They're doing some things. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Back to school season has been crazy at work. Not much new other than Casio shit, and I made my first watch mod video. Oh, first watch mod video. Oh, cool. Cool. You should post it in the your own content over there on the Discord. We can all watch it, Now, I did want to bring this up just in case you heard about this and I can't remember the guy's name. What's the guy's name? Let's see. No. Let's do that. And then give me a second. Jeff Rossio. You guys follow him? Anyway, this happened. So suddenly, out of nowhere, movies started showing up on BestBuy.com again. And it says, ha ha ha, you came crawling back. So here's the thing. If this will work. Come on. Come on. There's one. Wow. What is going on with my internet? I haven't dropped any frames. Man, why is this so slow? Okay, let me just see if I can click on this and it'll show you. Yeah. So it's like, oh my God, Best Buy's selling, movies and stuff again. But then, here, let me get my fat head out of the way. Bam. Sold and shipped by Pop Market. Now, I don't know. Can you see that underneath where it, well, basically, like right here when I disappear, Pop Market. Sold and shipped by Pop Market. So it's not Best Buy that's actually carrying these movies and selling these movies. It's just like Walmart and Target, where they have third-party sellers selling these movies. Now, here's the thing. It's not Best Buy. That's not Best Buy selling it, and then it doesn't mean that they're going to start selling them in stores again. It just means that, yeah, you'll be able to, if you want, you can buy them from Best Buy, but it's actually going to be delivered or sent through whatever third party is down there. Now, what it also means is that it should adhere to Best Buy's return policy. So if there's a problem, you can return it back to Best Buy. I don't know how that's going to work. All I can say is that I have purchased things from Pop Market before because they have an eBay store. So no, it doesn't mean that Best Buy's back. It means that they're just allowing third-party sellers, which is weird. It's a weird thing. I don't really understand why they would need to do that. I mean, I guess it gives Pop Market another place to have their whatever they're selling be viewed, but I don't know. So I just wanted to, if you saw that as a news item, oh my God, Best Buy is selling, physical media again. No, they're not. No, they're just allowing third parties to list things, through Best Buy, which is, like I said, I don't really understand why. Like I would think that most people at this point have moved on. Like if you buy physical media, you've moved on from Best Buy anyway. So there's no need to go back, especially knowing that it's going to be shipped by a third party anyway. Now, I would recommend that you go to eBay and search for Pop Market because they run specials all the time on physical media. In fact, there's been many things that I've gotten from them. In fact, I think some of my Shaw Brothers box sets came from them because it was kind of like if you buy 2 or 3, you get 20% off or 30% off or something like that. Yeah, they run specials all the time. So I would recommend going that route instead of going through Best Buy anyway. And I gotta be honest, I don't ever need I haven't stepped foot in a Best Buy in months because like why do I need to go there now? I don't get it. I don't know. Anyway, the biggest entertainment news I've come across this week was the release of a new Star Wars Plinkett video from Red Letter Media. I mean, yes, and I would like to watch it, but I actually saw some comments on the old Twitter or X, whatever you want to, whatever. Basically saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, it just spends half the video talking about how Star Wars is woke now," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm sure it's going to be framed in a way that might actually be interesting." Like even the original Phantom Menace video that, I think most of us were probably introduced to Red Letter Media through that video. He makes a lot of good points, but it also kind of starts to seep into your own way of viewing the movies, and you start to not enjoy them in the same way that you used to, because now you've got Plinkett in your head going, this is stupid and you shouldn't watch this. And it's like, that's my biggest problem with it, is that it's framed in a very my way or the highway kind of way. I don't know. Even though it's meant to be entertaining, people are then, taking some of those points and in a conversation about the prequels, they'll bring up some of those points. Some of the points are valid. Some of the points are just being nitpicky, because I hate to tell you this, as much as I love the original trilogy, it's not without its faults either. So just saying. But that's my biggest problem with basically all those kinds of, like, what's the other one? The other big, not Red Letter Media, but Honest Trailers, and there's another one. Something about the, like, how they pitch the movie. But it's, yeah, when you point out all of those things, yeah, they're valid, but they're also like, I don't know, man. I just kind of think that when people start to not enjoy things because of the criticism around it, I don't know. Cinema Sins, yes. And look, some of those are really funny, but it's also like, I mean, how many movies have you watched that you're like, yeah, this is a lot like, look at F1. F1 is probably the best example right now of a movie that is so full of tropes and so full of some of the same, and Top Gun Maverick too. 2 Joseph Kosinski movies, by the way. But anyway, they're full of things where you're kind of like, yeah, I should have seen that coming. And that this is just how movies like this progress, But I don't care. It's so well done and so entertaining. I don't care about that kind of stuff. So when someone, even as a joke, starts to poke fun at me enjoying something, it takes something away from it. Now, I'm not saying that, gosh, if if nobody was allowed to joke about things, then, well, they're not, I don't know, nothing, it would be bad. I'm just trying to say that it's when people start to take that stuff to heart and start using it as ammunition against the movie, that's where I have a problem. And I noticed that after Plinkett, because people would just trumpet his opinions, back to whoever was having the conversation. There are some things, and look, here's another one. And I was going to say here's another one. Here's another example. But The Force Awakens. I got to be honest with you. The first 2-3 times I saw it, I never really, it didn't bother me that everything seemed to be so easy for Rey. I just enjoyed the movie. It was like a roller coaster ride, and it was kind of fun. Now, when you stop and think about it, yeah, it's not, it's kind of goofy, and, there's more questions than answers and all that stuff. And sure, over time, yeah, I've started to see, I've seen some of the flaws, and I can see what people are saying about it. But at the time, I was kind of like, I never once thought about that. Like, I never thought about that. And so in a weird way, it's like, I don't know, like a popsicle stick house, and people are up on top and they're all having a good time, and you're over there just poking some of the popsicle sticks out so it'll fall down. And really, it's just like, well, that needs to happen. That just need, or I don't know. It's a bad example, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's good to point out all the faults that a movie has, because almost all movies have faults. I mean, for me, it's like, dude, it's probably why I've changed the way that I look at movies, and I changed the way that I review movies, is because sometimes just enjoying yourself is enough. And sometimes that's all a movie needs to be, and it doesn't need to be anything else. And then in the case of something like Jurassic World Rebirth, is a great example of a movie that I'm sitting there going, I don't get it. I don't understand why people are going nuts over this movie. I don't know why it made $800 million globally. It's kind of a dumb movie. There's a lot of dumb in that movie. But you know what? Who am I to say? There's a lot of people that came out of that movie just having a great time. They wanted to see dinosaurs mess some stuff up, and they got to see that, and they had a good time. Who am I to say, no, you shouldn't enjoy that, or no, that's wrong, or, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. Criticism. While I do reviews weekly on something, it's like, it's a weird thing, but I don't know. I'd be curious what you guys think of that. Like, am I off base on that? You think, hey, it's fine, or like, to me, the Plinkett thing, I actually got really angry with people who would use Plinkett talking points in their discussions about the prequels. It got to where I started to resent Red Letter Media for putting that video out, because it just made the people that couldn't think for themselves, the people that don't have critical thinking minds, it just gave them ammunition to say, oh yeah, well, this thing happened. And it's like, okay, so basically you're telling the point that Plinkett did without any of the levity and the humor, and now it just comes off as mean-spirited and thoughtless. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I don't know. But anyway, just got back from dinner. What did I miss? Ninjinzu? You missed a lot. I went over the movies that I watched this week. I went over the comic thing, the Dark Tower thing that I've been reading. It's been pretty awesome. Let's see. We talked about Paramount playing a joke on everybody by saying, "Hey, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning is going to be on YouTube," and then it's just the whole movie in Morse code. Went over. Oh yeah, the whole thing about Best Buy selling movies again, which they're really not. Just because movies are listed on there, you have to look and it says sold by someone else. Yeah. But other than that, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good catch up. So, fidget spinners made me realize I don't get it anymore. I know what you mean. I actually have many. I have like 3. I'm one of those people, I fidget with things. I'm constantly doing stuff. Like I have, look at this one that I have. This one I had at work. One of these guys. And it has there's like a trackball right here. You see that? It's like a trackball. There's little, like almost like the counting things, except it doesn't count anything, or like a lock. And then here's just a switch. And then here's just a place to put your thumb. Here's one that's like almost like, and you probably can't hear that. Maybe you can. And then these are just like buttons. Like there's one that just presses down, and then some of them are super clicky. Like it's, I love this thing, and you can click down the mouse, the trackball. Dude, I played with this. I would have this. Oh, and then there's this one that's kind of like almost like what was it? The Vita? Did the Vita have this where it was kind of like a thing that moved around? I don't know. But yeah, I love this thing. And then I have multiple spinners. I have these Bucky balls. Anybody have Bucky balls? Yeah, I still have mine. I have the Bucky cubes too. But that's also why I have. This is just from like Hobby Lobby, but I was sitting there waiting for April to pick out stuff, and I was on it, and I just felt this, and all it is I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. See how they're, it's almost like little, almost like chevrons or whatever. But man, for some reason, just feeling it, it feels nice. It just feels really nice. So I was just sitting there playing with it, and she goes, "Do you need me to buy that for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think you do." And so every now and then I'll, you know, my hands will be down here, but I'll be moving my hands through this. I know it's a weird thing. And then of course my I do that too. Well, I just like fidgeting with things, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Any Nuck action tonight? Actually, no. Because I haven't emptied any of my tanks. I'm still going through those liquids. The only ones that are left are ones that have either lost or very, very close to what we've already tried. Like, there's one of them that was, what was it? Peanut butter cookie crunch. Well, I just have a peanut butter cookie in there. So I don't know if it's probably not going to taste much different than the crunch. And then there's the strawberry cream, which is kind of boring. And then there's a couple of other liquids that I've already tried. So it's like it may be a while before we do another one. I don't know. We might do another one next week for the next empty. In fact, I think this one, yeah, this is the one that I finished. The bottle emptied today, but the tank is still full. So it'll probably take me till tomorrow at least to get through this tank. But yeah, there's just nothing to do tonight, So it's that peanut butter one is it's not the cookie crunch, it's the, I don't know, but that one's tasty. It's just really good. I need to figure out which one that was, because that one was really tasty. It just tastes peanut buttery, and it's good. But man, and Chris, Robert, hey, both of you guys, did I say hi to you? Did I physically say the words hello, Chris, hello, Robert? I don't know if I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But otherwise, hi. How's it going? Good to see you. But yeah, dude, seriously. This guy, this is just a little tiny, in fact, I don't know if you can see the logo. Yeah, see the alien logo? This was a vape thing, like a liquid manufacturer. When I went to, this was years ago, I went to a convention and they were there, and it was one of those liquids that I'd heard of before somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, I want. And at the conventions they were always doing deals, like if you buy 3 then you'll get $10 off or whatever. So I say, okay, give me 3 of those. And he's like, oh, cool, yeah. And I sat there and talked to him for a while, and he just gave me a bunch of stuff. He gave me like, I said, yeah, I'm trying to get to make my own liquids. Nobody seems to make the kind of flavor that I really want. It's the acai one that I finally got to where, man, I make a pretty damn good liquid now. But he was all like giving me tips, and he was like saying this and that, and he gave him, and he said, here, have this and have that. There's something else in here that has this alien logo on it, and I don't know where it is. I can't even remember. I think the liquid's name was Transistor, but I can't remember. I don't even know if they're around anymore. But he like gave me his card and was like, dude, anytime, man, email me. I'll help you out. I was like, okay. He said, yeah, if you want to, send me your liquid and I can tell you, maybe give you some recommendations on what to add to it to make it better. And I'm like, okay. Never hit him up on it, but I just thought that was really cool. And he gave me a bunch of stuff. So anyway, look, I got to say, there's a lot of, in the vaping, whatever, there were a lot of flash in the pan type people that were just there to make money, and they weren't there. They didn't care about, getting people to quit smoking. They didn't care about, fighting big tobacco or big pharma or anything like that. They were just there to make money. And those people came and went. But then there were some that were just really, really cool people. And like, they were there because they wanted, it was like, yeah, I mean, I want to make money doing this too, but I'm also there. They were there for the passion of it. And this guy, I got to say, for him to basically stop and just have that big conversation with me, and it wasn't like he was dead either. They were busy. He had a couple of people working the booth, and he could have just said, all right, here you go. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And I'd be like, all right. And I'd be on my way. But no, he was like, sounds like you have what you like. And, just, I don't know, man. I don't even know how the conversation started, but it was just cool guy, and there was a bunch of cool people back in those days. I mean, there's still some really great people in the vaping industry, but anyway, sorry, I'll move on. Let's see. On the plus side, we can go back to reviews of the time to see what critics were saying, as well as message boards which are still around to see what folks were saying before RLM ever covered them. True. I'm not saying that what they said was incorrect. What I said was when people were using it wasn't just like, oh yeah, somebody else thought the same thing. No, they were using their exact wording to basically, talk bad about the prequels. Now, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest prequel apologist. Like, I don't think the prequels are perfect. Far from it. In fact, I think Attack of the Clones is maybe the second worst Star Wars movie. There's some there's some high highs in that movie, but there are some extremely low lows. But it's when people were using the exact same wording, and that's where it started to become apparent that people were just trumpeting what RLM was saying instead of, these people might have loved the movie beforehand, and now all they wanted to do is shit on it. And I'm like, I just don't think that that's fair. I don't know. Spin it, bop it, twist it, dude. Man, you give me a fidget toy, I will play with it. It will happen. It's also why I have this still around. This was from 3 or 4 years ago at Retropalooza. These were drink things. They gave these out to everybody so they could get drinks. And I kept one because I was like, hey, I asked Jay, I was like, hey, can I just keep this? I just think it's cool. And he's like, yeah. Like, I know you don't drink anyway. And I'm like, cool. I put it in my pocket and I mess with it. Just always like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's also why I bite my fingernails, which is a bad habit. I know, but I'm always fidgeting with something. So there you go. I use a 50-pound 4-squeeze silicone donut. It's helped me a lot with carpal tunnel. 50-pound 4-squeeze silicone donut. Carpal tunnel. I want to see what this looks like. A forearm donut? One of these? Fingers, forearm exercises. Ah, I see. Hand grip strengtheners. I see. I see. Well, that's why I have this. This helps too. I mean, I don't have carpal tunnel or any problems with that kind of stuff, but you know. Transistor, we talking 311? No. No. This was a liquid. In fact, I'm actually, now that I'm here, if I could type, holy crap, they're still around. Oh, this, yeah. So this was the owner that I was talking with. Available in 25 and 50 milligram. So he moved on. Oh, the original 2x 60 mil available in 0, 3, and 6. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think it was this baby clouds over here on the right. Hashtag baby clouds. Anyway, yeah, still around. Can't believe it. But it also says copyright 2015. So I don't even know if they're still around. But anyway. Captains of Crush. Yes, Captains of Crush. Isn't that what this is? Yeah. Yeah. These are good. I like them. Big tobacco fighting big vape, big battery, and big juice, huh? Yes, Steve. Welcome, by the way. Hi. Good to see you. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be in it to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you make a great product. But at the same time, you should understand that a lot of people just want to stay off of the cigarettes, And I think you can tell when some people are there just to make money, and there are others that are there to fight the fight too. There's a lot of companies, man, came and went, and a lot of great companies. Like I said, the Acai company, man, I loved that. They made some of the best stuff, and then they just disappeared. It's irritating. Irritating. Anyway, you are a paragon for watch it yourself and make up your own mind. I mean, yes, but I don't know. I just try to be transparent and I try to be fair. You know? And a lot of times, man, it just comes down to they should have worked on the story a little bit. Like almost every movie that I've given like a bad review, it's man, just tweak the story a little bit and you would have had something. But no, for some reason you didn't do that. Like the Crow reboot. Why? Why did you do those things? Man, just tweak a little bit and it would have been awesome. But nipples make great fidget toys? I mean you're not wrong. But at least, you got a fidget spinner, I can just sit here, and not worry about what people think when they walk by as I'm in my cubicle, fondling myself. So, just saying. Or are you talking about as a team sport? No, I mean, that's a different story. The one on the left. Hmm. Chris is my homie. Oh, the one on the left. One of the ones. Gotcha. Chris is my homie. Transistor's 311's best album. I mean, is that the one with Amber? Because that's my favorite 311 song. Amber is the color of your energy. Oh. I had that on CD and listened to it every long field trip and road trip. Teamwork makes the Nipply dream work. I mean, maybe you're not wrong. I did want to bring this up. So a few years ago, probably, God, it had to be like 7-8 years ago. They came out with this, the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection on Blu-ray, and this thing is awesome. Has a lot of movies in it, in a very, very cool package. So I really like the way that this is. Oh, the disc is in there. It just kind of, I don't look. There's problems. Like, I don't like the fact that since this is cardboard, this came apart, and now the disc is way in there. But anyway, it's kind of neat because it's got the original poster art and the disc there, and what bonus features there are. It's just a cool thing, man. If you're a fan of Hitchcock, or in my case, there's a lot of these movies that I'd seen for the first time. This is a really cool set. You can hear the glue. I don't know if you can hear the glue separating as I'm doing this, but it's just a cool set. It's very cool. And the last one, Family Plot, and then the end. And it's just a cool set, and it comes with a nice booklet, with stuff about the movie and poster art and all that kind of stuff. It's very neat, very cool set. And I got it for a pretty good deal. I think it was $80 at the time, which was like, holy crap, that's a steal. Yeah, it's on sale right now for like $57 on Amazon. But they got this coming out. It's basically the exact same set, except it's in 4K. So, if you hadn't purchased the individual sets, because they released the individual sets on in 4K, where it's like 4 movies in a box. If you hadn't purchased that, this is a pretty good deal. And like I said, it looks very similar in the way that it's packaged. Actually, no, those look like actual cases, which is preferable to the, hashtag no finger holes. This looks pretty good, and they're all in 4K. And it's Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, Rope, Rear Window. Rope is amazing. And by the way, the lead in Gun Crazy is John Dahl, who is one of the antagonists in Rope. Anyway, Rope, Rear Window, The Trouble with Harry, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, The Birds, Marnie, Torn Curtain, Topaz, Frenzy, and Family Plot. So 15 movies in this set. And right now over on Grove, it's $129.99. But of course, if you're a new person to the thing, it ends up being $99.99 for the set, which is pretty dang good. So highly recommended, because this set was a blast to go through. Now, here's the question. Do I upgrade from these fantastic looking Blu-rays to the 4Ks for movies that are, some of them 60, 70, 80 years old? I don't know about 80. I don't know. Some of those are from the 40s. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth me spending an extra however much to watch or to get these in 4K when these are perfectly serviceable for me. I don't know. It's the same thing with the James Bond movies. As much as I love James Bond and as much as we've talked James Bond, I mean, last week Bucho had me going and it was like, guys, I gotta go. And he's like, and then he asked me like, what's your ranking of the Bond films? And I said, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that, but I'll tell you my best and my least favorite, and blah blah. And then we ended up talking for another 20 minutes or something. Anyway, I love the Bond films. I just don't think I need them in 4K, man. I don't know. I don't watch them that often to warrant the. I just don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Haven't seen Family Plot. Yeah, Family Plot. Look, um, some of them are really good. Family Plot was one of the lesser. Like in fact, pretty much I think anything after The Birds, I was kind of I was a little lukewarm on. Yeah, Marnie, it's okay. Torn Curtain, Paul Newman, Julie Andrews, it's fine. Topaz, it's okay. Who's in that one? Uh, Frederick Stafford, Danny Robin, John Vernon, Karen Dora. I don't know any of those people. But it was fine. Frenzy, that one was interesting just because it was so creepy. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That movie's creepy. But still I was kind of like, eh. And then Family Plot, yeah. And that one's got Bruce Dern in it, you know? Bruce Dern. I do love Bruce Dern. So I mean, maybe that one's worth it. Just for Bruce Dern. But I just Shazama said I would, it's worth it. I have the individual sets and they look amazing. I know they do. I know they do. But again, I watched all these movies, and guess how many times I've watched any of these movies since I watched all of them. Whenever this came out. Does it say when this came out? 2000. Wow, 2012? This set came out in 12? I didn't realize I had that long. But basically, I watched all the movies and I haven't watched any of them since. Now, I've watched other Hitchcock movies. It's kind of like I'm to that point now where I would rather buy a movie, a brand new movie that I've never, or a movie that's new to me. Now, I mean, I say that with, let's see. Okay, well, two of these I didn't own before, but there's a lot of movies that I buy that are, like Tombstone and Seven and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, those are movies that I've seen before, but I want them on the best possible format. But there's a lot of them that I just buy because it's like, yeah, I could rent it for $5, but what if I really like it and I want to watch it again? You know? And I'd rather do that than buy movies again. And especially since I can't sell this for anything close to what I paid for it. So I'd basically just be buying the movies again. And I don't, even though I enjoy this set, I don't love any of the movies enough to warrant the $100 or $130 because I'm already a member of Groove. I can't get the 20% off or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like I've had my fun with those movies, and now I'm wanting to watch newer films. And like I said, I say that, and there's a bunch of movies over there that I've seen before, that I bought, but also a fair few I've never seen. Well, out of the Warner Archives, there were two. Yeah, there was only one movie I'd seen before. The other 5 were things I'd never seen. Like I'll tell you that Tex Avery, a lot of those I'd never seen before. I'd never seen Murder My Sweet before. That one was good. I actually like Murder My Sweet a lot more than Gun Crazy. Even though Gun Crazy is kind of it's talked about in the same, like, oh man, it's a great noir. Like, other than the fact that the bad person, the really bad person in the story ends up being a woman, doesn't really make that a noir. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even, you can use another email for the discount. Okay, well, Hmm. That's an interesting point. I mean, yeah, I probably could do that. I'm just curious if and see it's the same reason. Here's another one. It's the same reason why uh the Lord of the Rings. I still haven't bought the Lord of the Rings on disc in 4K, even though I have the digital copies that are 4K because there was some sale and I got the 4K digital set. Man, they're always running good deals though. Oh, there's that. There it is. 124.99. Oh, look, and there's a nice trailer for it. Wait, that's the trailer for this guy, the red one there. But that's only got what, 6 movies? And this has got all 14 in 4K. Okay, so they actually released them singly. Okay, well, see I would rather just say, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna buy. Uh, really, it's Rear Window and Vertigo are my two favorites. I think out of all of those. I love Rope though. I really love Rope. I like The Man Who Knew Too Much too. Oh, there it is. What, 20% off? No. No, get off my back. But anyway, yeah. These crazy deals or crazy days, there's some good stuff in here, by the way. If you haven't done that, I can go ahead and pre-order Soup Herman. The Steelbook is sold out. I don't know. Groove is awesome though. I like it. I think it's, what is that? Warner Brothers and Universal together going in on that, which I think is pretty neat. Now, here's a question. I know this is a more physical media question, but you've got the Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection, right? And that just looks like it's in a standard fat Blu-ray case, right? Where's the one that looks like it's got the what do you call it? The sweater. Where's that from? Nightmare on Elm Street sweater 4K. I don't know. What is it? A limited edition? Oh, they're steel books. They're steel books. Hmm. Okay. Those are pretty cool looking though. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Pixel Phoenix, what's going on? You have the Nightmare on Elm Street VHS box set. Here's the thing: I don't own any of them because the only one that, to me, and this is one of those things that, man, I might piss some of you off saying this, but I'm gonna say it because that's just the way. It's just how I look at it. The only one to me that's worth a damn is the first one. The rest of them are not great. They're just, I mean, sure, you can say, well, they're just fun. Yeah. But I just got like a hair in my mouth. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. The first one's like just a good movie. The rest of them, they're not for me. They're not for me. I'll just say that. They're not for me. But I kind of want the first one in 4K, I think. And it's probably available in 4K already. But in fact, I don't even know if I've seen 5. I will say, what was it? Is it New Nightmare? I think I actually like that one. I thought that one was actually pretty good. Cheesy horror is fun. We wouldn't have Evil Dead without Freddy and Jason. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's just, some of that's just not for me. It's just like, it's fine. One and Dream Warriors are the best ones. See, I remember Dream Warriors, and I remember going, I think it's just because the first one is so, when he starts becoming funny, that's where it loses me, because if I want to, I don't know, it's a different kind of thing to me. Like the first one isn't funny. like the other ones end up being. The first one is just scary, and it's creepy, and it makes you kind of feel oogie, and you're like, oh man, that's messed up, dude. When what's her name? I can't remember the girl's name. The first one that dies. I mean, spoiler alert, someone dies in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. But anyway, when she's going up the wall, or when she lifts up her shirt gets lifted up and you see the slices, man, it's fucking scary, dude. It's just like, oh, that's so messed up. And then when she lands and then she's all covered with blood, I mean, it's messed up. That movie's messed up. So, I don't know. OG Texas Chainsaw, it's fine. I mean, like, that's one where I go, okay, I understand. Like, I did watch it and I went, yeah, I totally get it. I totally understand why that was, for its time, it's amazing. It's an amazing trendsetter, all that kind of stuff. I get it. I don't ever need to watch that again. But then I can go watch 7. I could watch 7 probably once a month because that movie is so rich. And I know that's not the same thing, but just my mindset. I would rather watch something like 7 than something like Texas Chainsaw. Because it's just I don't know. It's just me. That's just me. Please watch the amazing documentary Never Sleep Again. That doc is so good. Oh, I'm sure it is. Isn't that one? I've heard of that. The Elm Street Legacy. 4 hours? Oh, look there. It's available on Tubi. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. What? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I forgot about that. I was like, one of the things on Google said, "What's the correct order to watch Nightmare on Elm Street?" And I'm like, I don't know. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Like I was like, what? And then I forgot. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and then Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That's the one that I actually liked. Freddy vs. Jason, I didn't see, and I didn't see the remake, the 2010 remake. I'm pretty sure I never saw the Dream Child or Final Nightmare because I was at that point. It was just like, man, these aren't for me. Yeah, Dream Warriors with Patricia Arquette. I remember that one. And Dream Master. I can't remember. I can't remember. It's been too long. Now, see, what would be fun is to go through them again, but then I wouldn't want to buy them. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe if there's some, how like iTunes or whatever will do a $13 sale for all of them on Friday the 13th. If they do something for Nightmare on Elm Street, I might pick it up at some point, watch them. But I don't know. But that Never Sleep Again. I mean, dude, documentaries. I'm always all about that. Like, what was that? The Hills Run Red. Is that what it's called? Yeah, The Hills Run Red. The one that Robert Meyer Burnett produced or whatever. Right? I showed it off. I talked about it. I didn't really care for the movie, but the documentaries were really fun. Like they were fun to watch. So the Blu-ray was worth it to me. So people seem to really like Children of the Corn. I thought it was all right. Yeah, it's like, it's fine. I think I'm trying to think. What's my favorite scary? Well, I mean, it's probably The Exorcist, right? When it comes to a horror movie. But I've never been a big slasher movie kind of person. Like they don't interest me. It's like there's got to be a good story behind it, you know? I mean, it's like some people just like to watch movies for the kills or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care, you know? I've like the Final Destination movie, the first one was fun. And then I lost interest. because it was just like, okay, this just looks like more of the same. And apparently that's what the movies were kind of doing. They were just kind of doing more of the same. But apparently this last one is actually really good. I kind of want to see it just because, yeah, I've heard good things about it. And it's actually kind of funny because Final Destination, they play what? Oh God, what's the song? I can't remember the song name. It's a Nine Inch Nails song. I'm trying to play the song through my head. Even Deeper. That's the name of the song. Nine Inch Nails, Even Deeper, off of the Fragile. And it has the line, pictures in my head of the final destination. And that's where, I'm guessing that's where they got the name of the movie. But the song is in the movie. So, in the first one. Anyway. Which when I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Nine Inch Nails, I like it. Hey, Nine Inch Nails. But I actually like that movie. But then, dude, that first thing with the plane and all that, dude. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Okay, I'm just saying. It's 4 hours, but just think it's like all the extras you would get on DVDs for all the Nightmare movies. Chris, look, it sounds like something right up my alley. In fact, you know what? Hey, where's my hold, please? Movies. Here we go. Bam, there's my list. Oh, and I can update this now. What did I just watch? I went, oh my gosh, I'm all the way down here. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Yes, even got all the Buster Keaton movies coming up. I've got Clue coming up. I've got They Live coming up. They Live, I've only seen one time, and it was, I'm pretty sure, just like Escape from LA, I'm pretty sure I was either half asleep or, under the influence of something. Just saying. Because I didn't remember almost anything about Escape from New York when we watched it. But They Live, I've only seen the one time. Creepshow, never seen it. I've got, 8 movies from Buster Keaton on the list. Now, Foul Play, I showed that one off. It's over there. Foul Play with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. I haven't seen that movie in probably 30 years or more. It's got to be 35 years maybe. But I used to love that movie as a kid because it's a late 70s movie. And they played it on like the Movie Channel and Showtime and HBO back in the day, But it's going to be interesting to see if I like that movie. Still like that movie. There's a, do I have it? I got rid of it. I must have gotten rid of it. It's a DVD of this movie called The Hot Rock. Does anybody know The Hot Rock? From 1972. Robert Redford, George Segal, and others. Ron Liebman, Paul Sand. Like Ron Liebman, you've seen Ron Liebman before. Right? He's been in so many different shows. Look at that. You know that guy. But this movie is a heist movie. And I really enjoyed this movie as a kid when I saw it. Cuz it's it's almost like we're going to here, I'm going to do that just so I don't get claimed. Even the video will get like that will get claimed. But it's a heist movie. Dortmunder and his pals plan to steal a huge diamond from a museum, but this turns out to be only the first time they have to steal it. So, it's a fun heist movie. And for some reason, I got rid of the DVD. I don't have the DVD anymore. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, after watching The Hot Rock again, it was kind of like, oh, this movie's okay. Maybe that's why I got rid of the DVD. Because I was just like, yeah, it's okay. But now I kind of want it again. I kind of want to buy it again. Directed by Peter Yates. Just saying. It's not a bad movie. Is that the same Peter Yates that directed Kroll? It is. It is the same Peter Yates that directed Kroll. But yeah, I hey, I like that movie. Anyway, Foul Play is another one of those where it's kind of like, okay, number one, this movie from late 70s in 4K, great. I'll never have to buy that movie again. But is it going to be good? I don't know. But here's the thing. Pretty much anything. Oh, and written by William Goldman. William Goldman, look at that. I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if Foul Play is going to be on the level. But I rewatched Seems Like Old Times and it held up. Okay. Man, Goldie Hawn was just awesome back in the day. Just awesome. I don't know. She was great. But man, now I kind of want to get the Hot Rock again. I kind of want to put it on my in fact I'm going to right now, and you can't stop me. Hot Rock. Okay. All right. Is it on Blu-ray? Oh my God, it's on Blu-ray. That's $99. Twilight Time, the limited edition series. I've never seen. I wonder if that's from another country, and that's why it looks like that. Well, anyway, I've got it saved on there. I'm gonna have to look that up because I want to see the Hot Rock again now. Now that I've talked about it, I want to see it. And the DVD looked like that that's moving right there, like right there. That's what it looked like. It was a black, and it's just a cool case, a cool picture. There you go. Looked cool. Fun movie, man. And it's Robert Redford, man. Robert Redford is awesome. Dude, Robert Redford is like one of the best movie stars in history, in my opinion. He's just so good. But anyway. Let's see. Freddy vs. Jason, both the best Freddy movie and the best Jason movie. You sure about that? I don't know about that. Great production behind the scenes stuff. Chris, you don't, I mean, look, it's on my list. It's on my, oh, I didn't put it on the list. What was it called again? Never Sleep Again. Never Sleep Again. Chris. Guys, man, this list from you guys is so ridiculous. There's so many movies on this list. I'd count them, but man, I don't know if I can count that high. So many. I wonder if there's some that I've already seen. All That Heaven Allows. That's in my wish list. So many. Oh, hey. I just thought of something. Shozama, if you're still here, you recommended me Lupin the Third, and I immediately went on the website and I bought it using Apple Pay. I never got it. Now I need to go back and try to find out if it charged me, because I never got that movie. Didn't get a shipping notification, nothing. Maybe the Apple Pay just didn't go through and I didn't realize it. But I like literally just, you were like, buy it. It's really, really good. And I was in a mood and I was like, okay. And I did. Was it from Crunchyroll or Amazon? No, it was from a different website. It was from, I'll know it if I see it. Because it was the only, at the time, when I was looking it up, it was the only place that I could Uh, I mean, it's just kind of funny seeing that listed there. I went, wait a minute, I bought that. Uh, Lupin, 4K. I wonder if it was the Crunchyroll store. Yeah, it might have been the Crunchyroll store. Okay. So I need to look at my I need to look at my bank statement. Shit, man, when was that? When was that? That was a long time ago. But I completely forgot about it cuz usually it's like, usually I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's coming," because I get the email, that says, "Hey, you bought this thing. Here you go. Here's your receipt," right? And I never got a receipt for it. Animago? No, I'm pretty sure it was Crunchyroll because that looks familiar to me. And especially since it's got an Apple Pay thing. Because, dude, if there's, man, you want to get me to buy something faster, put the Apple Pay thing on there. Because this is why, look, when you hit that, bam, it's like, okay, all you got to do is double click and you're buying it. It's like, it's the easiest way to buy stuff. If you've got, it's dangerous, is what it is. So, how many times does it take to steal the same diamond? I don't know. At least two, I would say. Because otherwise, why would you say that? Uh, I think I like grotesque horror, like Alien, The Thing. I was never a slasher gore guy. Yeah, yeah. Alien and the Thing. I mean, yeah, yes. I mean, I think in the horror section, you've got to say that it's got to be, at least for me, you've got to look at The Exorcist as one of the top horror movies of all time. Alien has got to be one of the top horror movies of all time. Now, if you're going to make me pick, I'm going to pick Alien. But I think in general, most people, I think overall, I think The Exorcist is probably a scarier movie to most people. I don't know. That would be interesting if you could get a big enough sample size of people who have actually seen both movies, right, all the way through, and say, what's the scarier movie? It would be interesting. Yeah, Apple Pay makes Rob the king of shut up and take my money. Yes. It's there's been so many times that like during a in fact I think I did it on um oh my god, what's the name of the show? I just talked Arcane. Season 1. I didn't even look to see how much it was. I just went Apple Pay, okay, bam, done. Buy it. Buy the thing. But I wonder if there was something, because there's some websites that will, you can do the Apple Pay, but then you still have to go through a couple of things. You're like, okay, we got your Apple Pay information. Now click here to do this. I wonder if that's what happened. And I just didn't finish it because I thought, because most places you do Apple Pay, man, it's all done for you, and it's like, hey, thanks for your order. Go on with your life. But we are not the same, Steve. We are very different people. But hey, I'm honestly not a big horror movie fan. Like in general, like if you ask me what my favorite genre of film is, it's probably sci-fi. Sci-fi slash fantasy. That's probably my I probably have more. I don't know, man. It would be interesting to stick all of those movies in a genre and figure out how many movies. Okay, well, wait a minute. If you did that, then it'd probably be martial arts. That would be my number one because there's 101 of those. Oh, and then there's the Bruce Lee movies I have. There's the other Jet Li movies I have. There's a lot of freaking martial arts movies on that shelf. Just saying. So it's probably martial arts. But other than martial arts, it would be interesting to see what the majority of movies that I have, what genre they fall in. I would guess sci-fi fantasy. Or maybe action. I don't know. Because, like, okay, here's a question. Inglorious Bastards. Great movie, right? I mean, I think most people will agree that's a pretty damn good movie. What genre do you put that in? It's kind of a drama. It's almost too slow to be an action movie. It's too actiony to be like a drama. It's pretty funny. What do you put that in? Like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Pulp Fiction was in the action section at Blockbuster. Inglourious Bastards may have been too. Of course, I don't know. Inglourious Bastards may not have been drama slash. Well, see, that's the thing. The way Blockbuster did it, and look, this is just because of the way that my brain works. I know that Pulp Fiction was in the action section, but there was drama, action, sci-fi. There was no fantasy. It was sci-fi, horror, comedy, kids, or family. That's it. Now, some blockbusters would do subcategories. So, action, war, right? So, right? I mean, that makes sense. Or drama, thriller, drama, suspense, right? But they would be in that category. Like Inglourious Bastards, I guess it would have to, just because it's Quentin Tarantino, probably go in action. But it's almost like the action is so subdued in regard to like the movie as a whole, right? It's hard, man. It's so hard for me to quantify what movie. Like, okay, if you separated out sci-fi and horror, where does Alien go? Does it go into sci-fi? I think it's more of a sci-fi than horror. In fact, I think it was in sci-fi. But it's also considered a pretty great horror movie. But Alien was definitely in the sci-fi section. Along with all kinds of movies that probably didn't belong there. But The Thing was probably in fact, I'm almost positive The Thing was in sci-fi. But it's more of a horror movie. But it is aliens, so they put it in sci-fi, I guess. So it's really interesting how they separated things out and how they decided to categorize these things. And it's like, to me, some of the best movies are the ones where you don't really know where to put, like, where do you put it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm back. Had to do work things. Rufus, no excuse. I'm just kidding. But no, I definitely, I need to make a note, actually. Remind me at 11 a.m. tomorrow to look up Lupin the Third.
Okay, I added look up Lupin the Third for tomorrow 11 a.m.
There you go. I'm going to find out what's going on. And the reason I did that is because there's a good chance that by the time we're done with the show and with the hangout afterward, I may not remember that. So, yeah, at least tomorrow I'll be, fresh mind on it and all that kind of stuff. Drama / action, rated R, thriller and suspense are fun words too. Yeah, and that's the other one, is that, like, for a long time I was like, what's a thriller? Like, what makes something a thriller? Is Fatal Attraction a thriller? I guess. Is it a suspense? It's not really suspense. I mean, the master of suspense. But I don't know. I think some of the best movies are the ones that, like I said, are hard to categorize because they mess with the. It's not just going to be in a box. And I think some of the most boring movies are the ones that are like, oh yeah, that's your typical, right? I don't know. Am I wrong about that? Maybe. Maybe not. But damn it, I want to watch the Hot Rock. Okay, get off of that. I stopped looking at that. Let's see. Oh, hey. According like gaming stuff, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys saw this, right? Dude, this looks awesome. Like here's my problem with gaming today. So much of it is an exercise in patience and in your ability to immerse yourself and your ability to shut out everything else so you can do this thing, right? These are the kind of games that I like. The kind of games that I can just jump in and have some fun. And then, hey, if I want to walk away from the game for a week, when I come back, I'm not 100% lost on what to do. Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of those games where, man, I could walk away from it for a couple of days and come back to it and go, yeah, it was fun. This is fun. I'm having a good time. That's what I want in video games these days. And it's just because I've got so many other things going on and so many other things where I've got my focus. Elden Ring is the kind of game that even though I look at that and I go, wow, that's beautiful and I wish I could be that good, I don't have the patience to get that good. And I don't have the desire to spend hours and hours of shutting everything else into doing that. And I think more video games, there should be a greater, and maybe that's what's great about Nintendo, is that Nintendo focuses on kind of pick up and play kind of mentality. And you don't have to sit there and get good to enjoy a video game. Elden Ring is easy peasy. Yeah. Okay. What day is it? This is it, Minecraft. Vinny, it's Wednesday. And the reason that we're doing it here today is because Alien Earth comes out on Tuesdays. So until Alien Earth is over, we're doing the stream on Wednesdays. And if you were here, you would know that. No, just kidding. But yeah, it's just that's the thing right now. Unsubscribed. Well, there you go. See? I guess I earned that. But here's the thing. So I think this is going to be a great time. I really enjoy some of the Lego games. I got to be honest with you. The last Star Wars game, very meh. Like the previous Star Wars game, I played 100% to completion. You know, I did all the things. I got all the red blocks and all the gold blocks and I maxed out my gold. I unlocked all the characters. It was so much fun to do that. One of the Lego Marvel games, I think it was Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 is the one I did. I played through the whole entire thing and had a blast doing it. But for some reason, that last Star Wars game became tedious and I didn't enjoy it. I'm hoping this brings it back and I can have some fun with some Lego Batman. But the trailer was great. All the callbacks to different movies, really, really fun. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. Unfortunately, that's the only gaming news this week that really spoke to me. I'm still waiting for what's that? Is it Reflected? I have to look it up. I think it's. Let me see. Game list. Replaced. Do you remember the trailer for this game called Replaced? Pixel art stuff. It's the style of it just looks so awesome. It's like a cyberpunky, a 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action platformer. Dude, I want to play this game. And it was supposed to release, there you go. This game was supposed to release in 2022. Something has to be really, really bad behind the scenes for it to be delayed by approximately 3 years. This says it will be released in 2025. According to apparently this Twitter thread. This was last year. But here's the funny thing. If you go to their website, get out of here. It still doesn't have a freaking date. I want to play this freaking game, man. This game looks so good. And the soundtrack looked good. I was all about this game. And they won't release it. But anyway. Yeah. That pixel stuff I love that stuff. I really like what is it? The Messenger. I like that game. Katana Zero was good. I mean, I don't know if I've ever finished those games, but I really enjoyed playing them. There's also, isn't there it's not a pixel type game. Is that what it is? Ender Magnolia? Yeah, I just think that this game looks great. Oh, it's all videos and stuff. I really like the art style of this game. And I think it's probably been out and I just haven't played it yet. But it just looks good. And I still, honestly, here's what's funny. I still haven't played through all of Hollow Knight. Rob, what are you doing? Sorry. Just haven't done it. Haven't done it. Square has released a lot of titles using this style, and I need to play more of them. Yeah, but see, my problem is the tactics style games I do not care for, and a lot of those games are too. They don't quite work for me. As far as RPGs go, they're just not. They're not really my thing. I kind of wish they would get back to standard. Like, what was it? Final Fantasy 3? 4? I love that game. Like, I really, really enjoyed playing through those. And then I got to, I think it was Final Fantasy 5, and I'm like, I don't like the way this plays. And I gave up and just moved on to other things. But anyway, I'm more of an old school guy, I guess. I don't know. Octopath isn't tactics. No, I know. But there was something about it that didn't work for me. And I think, didn't they release a demo of that? Because I'm pretty sure I tried it and was like, eh. Or maybe I tried. I don't remember. But here is a few more. Wait a minute. Something's missing here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, price hikes on all the costumes? Consoles. The Hitchcock thing, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Yeah. I've done it. Okay, I'm caught up to. Okay. Machu, hello, welcome. Good to see you. A little bit of movie news, and then we can basically talk about whatever you want to talk about. Josh Brolin was on a podcast, and says that Greg Fraser is not going to be back for Dune Part 3 as he takes on Sam Mendes' 4 Beatles films. And then his return for the Batman 2 also looks doubtful because of that. I got to say, that's a bummer, man. That is just a bummer. That's just a bummer, man. Greg Fraser is so great. His work on The Creator is some of the best cinematography I've seen ever. Like it's one of my favorite looking movies ever. Watching it again, like I saw that in the theater, right? Getting the 4K and watching it on my system in there, I was like, this is one of the best looking movies in ever. Just ever. So the idea that he's not going to be doing Dune 3 or the Batman 2 is kind of going to be a bummer. It's going to be a bummer. I'm just saying. It's going to be a bummer. 4 Beatles movies, that's insane. Machu, here's the thing. We actually talked about that on one of the earlier streams. I mean, look, I'm not saying why didn't you watch every stream I've ever done and whatever. I'm kidding. So Sam Mendes, right? Uh, he is doing this Beatles story, but he's going to be filming it from each of the point of view. It's the same story, but from the point of view of each Beatles member. So, and they will be released separately, like within I don't know, I want to say like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So basically, each time you see the movie, it's going to be from that different point of view. Now, there's probably going to be some shared scenes, but I don't think that's ever been done before. One story from 4 different points of view released within weeks of each other in theaters. I don't think that's ever been done. The only thing, as I mentioned, when that news got released, I mean, first off, I'm not even a huge fan of the Beatles, and that fascinates me. Just the idea of it fascinates me, and I want to see them. Like, what exactly are you going to do? Sam Mendes is a fantastic director, so this could be really, really amazing, and especially if you've got Greg Fraser doing it. I mean, this could be really good. Each movie is 17 hours. No, I have no idea. It as far as I know, it's still. It may be still filming. I don't even know if they've started filming yet, but that's just the plan. So I have no idea how long the movie's going to be. But yeah, I mean, it just sounds like a really, really interesting idea. When that news broke, I said the only thing that I can think of that was close to it was when Clue, the movie Clue, came out in 1985. They released it with 3 different endings, and when they sold the movie to the different theater chains, they sold, like, for example, in Dallas Fort Worth, what they would do is say, hey, AMC is going to get ending A. I mean, this is not what happened because I don't know if AMC was in DFW at that point. But anyway, like, let's just say AMC gets ending A, General Cinema gets ending B, and Cinemark, which I don't think they were around in Texas at that point anyway, but just for the sake of argument, gets ending C. So, depending on where you saw the movie, you would get the different ending, which is fascinating. But it didn't work because a lot of people were like, "You mean I got to go see it 3 different times at 3 different theaters to get the whole story?" Screw that. Not realizing that it's supposed to be just fun to go see the movie and it's like, "Oh, I got that ending." And of course, the way that the movie ends now on home video is you see each of the 3 endings consecutively. But that's not how they released it in theaters, and it's a cool gimmick. And when you looked in I remember this because I used to read the newspaper back in the day. Remember those? Um, but in the listings it would say such and such movie, 7:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, right? But with Clue, it would say Clue ending B, and it would give the times. Because I remember at the time, at least for me, it was a General Cinema. They were showing one ending, and then there was the Forum. What did they call it? Just the Forum movie theater. Forum, Forum, because it was the Forum Mall. And what's funny is that area is still called the Forum area. There's streets still called Forum, but the mall's gone. Anyway, I saw that Clue was showing there, and it was a different ending. So it's a cool idea, but let's see if they market it well. And I mean, if it's Sam Mendes, that means it's a major studio, and they're probably going to do a pretty good job. And you got Greg Fraser, you're going to do a good job with the marketing, and hopefully people will go watch it multiple times. I don't know. I think, like I said, it's a fascinating idea. I just don't know if it'll pan out. Will that work? Because I mean, like I said, even though I'm not that big of a fan of the Beatles, that Daytime Revolution Blu-ray was awesome. By the way, John Lennon and Yoko Ono taking over that talk show. If you can find that, watch it. Not everybody's going to go out and pick up a Blu-ray to watch a documentary, but I did, and I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. And that's one that I will definitely watch again. Anyway, that being said, I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles, and I don't know. But this is just, it's crazy. It's a crazy idea. Like, why would you do that? Who thinks of doing that? Like that, I don't know, but I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. By the way, if anybody watched my Alien Earth review last night, I said interesting a lot. And I actually cut out a lot of it. I cut out a lot of things. I said, man, why do I say interesting so much? Like there was one point where I said interesting within like 5 words. And it was just like, okay, I got to cut this out. And I actually refilmed a part because I was irritating myself. And it's just because when I'm not thinking or when I'm doing things off the top of my head, I'm not writing it really. It's almost like stream of consciousness. And when that happens, I fall on certain words, and interesting apparently is one of those words. I did want to bring this up because I think this is big news. Interesting news. Yes, interesting. Stranger Things. The creators, Matt and Ross Duffer, sign a 4-year Paramount deal. So April 2026, they're out at Netflix, and they're going to be moving over to Paramount. And this deal covers movies, so theatrical, streaming, and regular TV. So all 3 entertainment sectors, they're going to be doing it, and they have a 4-year deal. Now, if you think about that, that's not really a very long, but it is interesting because these guys, I mean, they set the world on fire with Stranger Things. Can they do it again? I don't know. But listen to this. This is from Paramount, right? Think about all the things that Paramount has done in such a short time. So they merged with Skydance, right? And shortly after, they basically stole that movie called High Side from James Mangold, who did, Ford v Ferrari and, A Complete Unknown with Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet is going to be in this movie. Described as described as Heat meets Hell or High Water. Both really fun movies. I own them both. High Side tells of a former MotoGP racer. Haunted by a career-ending crash and a family legacy of abandonment, he is drawn back into the world of high-speed risks and extreme danger when his estranged brother, already being pursued by the FBI, recruits him for a series of bank robberies on super bikes. Studios were fighting over it. Paramount merges with Skydance and immediately wins the bid for that movie. They also came out with this thing that they said, we're going to be focusing on IP. The IP that Paramount has, we're going to be focusing on that. We're going to be focusing on Top Gun. So we're probably going to get a Top Gun 3. We're going to be focusing on Star Trek. Bringing that back to the movie screens. And also World War Z. Apparently the dude who owns Paramount now, or is the head of Paramount, now wants to do World War Z 2. But then there was also the UFC deal, which, if you heard about that, was insane. $8 billion for the UFC. So now there will be no pay-per-view for UFC fights anymore. Once that moves over to Paramount, all you have to have is a Paramount Plus subscription, and you can watch all the UFC fights. No pay-per-view model at all. Amazing. That's pretty insane. What that probably means is that they'll do like the prelims and stuff, probably on like CBS. You'll still be able to watch it on Paramount Plus, but then it'll move the pay-per-view portion of the fight, the main event, the main card will move over to Paramount Plus. Very interesting, right? That's a lot of money. Like $8 billion? That's twice as much as what Disney paid for Star Wars or for Lucasfilm. That's nuts. So they did all that. Then on top of that, they said, we're focusing on releasing 8 to 20 movies theatrically. Showzama pointed that with the video out from Film Thread, I think, from earlier today. Yeah, Paramount is making some big moves. It's like Paramount said, we're tired of being number 3 or 4 in the studio hierarchy. We want to be number 1. So we're going to do all the things. We're going to get the Stranger Things guys. We're going to buy the UFC. We're going to make a Top Gun 3 and a Star Trek 12, whatever number they're on now. We're going to do a World War Z 2. We're going to do this Timothy Chalamet, James Mangold movie. We're going to release 8 to 20 movies theatrically every year. Man, they're on a freaking roll. Oh, normally 8 movies a year to 20 movies a year. Yeah, that's a big jump. But still, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, them getting the Stranger Things guys is it's a thing. So, cuz usually it's Warner Brothers and Disney fighting it out for number 1. And then after that, sometimes it's Universal, sometimes it's Paramount, sometimes it's Sony. But Paramount usually isn't in the top 2. And it seems like that's what they're like, we want to be at least number 2, and we're going to do all this stuff to try to get there. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, because if you can push Disney and Warner to, step up their games, because Paramount doesn't have a comic book property. And maybe that's part of the reason why they remain, well, not number 2. Maybe they think, well, doing all of this, we may be able to get to number 2. Even if we don't have, DC or Marvel in our pocket. I don't know. I find it interesting. Okay. Oh, Robert Rivera asked, who's going to be the villain in this new Batman movie? I don't know. I really don't know. And we won't know until they start casting, right? Now, they're doing a Clayface movie, which is odd. But, and look, the way that James Gunn is doing this stuff, he's doing it so, it's like he's focusing on the oddballs out first and trying to win people over with all this odd stuff. I mean, Peacemaker season 2 starts tomorrow. I mean, who was Peacemaker even? Is Peacemaker like a big? I don't even know. I don't know if Peacemaker even existed before John Cena came along. But I don't know. This is it's really like, it confuses me. But at the same time, if you're making good stuff, I don't care who the character is. I mean, I gotta be honest though. I do want Batman. Like, I want Batman right now. Like, I want to see Batman soon. A new Batman in this universe. I want to see the dynamic between Batman and Superman really bad. But yeah, I don't know. But with the Batman 2, which is what's his name? Matt Reeves. That's going to be separate from the DCEU or DCU, whatever it's called now. The Gunniverse. The Batman is going to be its own little area. You would think, well, what about Colin Farrell as the Penguin? Because the Penguin series was such a big hit. I don't know. I feel like what they want to do is do something big. And I think it's probably going to involve the Penguin, but I don't think the Penguin's going to be the only one. And I don't know who they're going to use. On the DC side, again, you've got Clayface coming, which is odd to introduce a Batman villain before you introduce Batman in the DCU. But yeah, I don't know. Basically, I don't know, is what I'm trying to say. And we won't know until they start casting for this thing. But I really like Pattinson as this version of Batman. And I'm really interested to see how, are they going to just keep it going, or are they going to, is there a finale in mind already? Do they know where that's going? Where this universe is going? And does it have a stopping point? Because that's probably the one of the best things about the Nolan version of Batman, especially when you start to realize what he's doing, is that, yeah, this is basically taking Batman from the beginning of his career to the end. And then what happens at the end when somebody else takes over. With this, I have no idea where they're going. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to use what's his face as the Joker? I can't remember his name now. Irish kid who was in Saltburn. I can see his face. He was in The Banshees of Inisherin. He was great. What's his name? What's the kid's name? Barry Keoghan. Or Keoghan. Is it Barry? Is it just Keegan? Does anybody know? I don't know. I never saw Saltburn. I heard it was meh, so I didn't watch it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Robert Pattinson. You would think it would be the Joker and the Penguin or something along those lines. Are they gonna? And there was news that I saw the other day, which again, there's so many different places that are saying, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and you just don't know anymore. You don't know what's real and what's not. I saw something that said that Zoe Kravitz wasn't coming back to play Catwoman. So Catwoman's not going to be in the Batman 2. Is that true or is it not true? But then, like, that whole thing about the Stranger Things guys, the Duffer Brothers, that actually was on a rumor mill last week. And then it was put on Variety and Deadline and Hollywood Reporter. So it's like just what, today? Yesterday. So, and that actually kind of fits in with the idea that basically that a lot of these deals that we hear about, they're like, oh my God, such and such signed up to be whoever, like Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, right, in the Avengers movies, the Doomsday, and right, that gets announced, that gets released and announced or whatever. But that deal had to have been done months in advance, right? There had to be lawyers involved, his agents, there's a lot of people that knew, oh my God, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU playing a different character. They had to sit on that for months. And that's how these rumors get out. But then a lot of times what happens is the rumor gets out. And then by the time, in the time that it would take for a regular thing to become an announcement, somewhere along the line, things break down and maybe they just say, okay, well, we're not going to do it. So the rumor gets out, but then something breaks down in their negotiations. That's not enough money. Or, oh my God, I'd really rather go do this other movie, so I can't commit to this time period or whatever. Maybe, scheduling things, all that stuff. So that's the thing, is that in a lot of ways, by the time that it gets announced, and I talk about it because I don't usually talk about rumors, by the time I get to talk about it, it's already been, somebody's been talking about it for months. But it's the only safe way to do it, because otherwise you're constantly shooting yourself in the foot because a lot of things fall through. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go back. I got on to talking about Batman and then, you know how I do. You know how I do. That Clue movie actually kind of scared me when I was younger, even though it was a comedy. I think I was 8 when I first watched. Still a very good movie. I just got it in 4K. And I'm just going to say, Colleen Camp. Colleen Camp in 4K. No, the reason to watch that movie is because it's just a fun movie. It's just a really, really Martin Mull? Is that his name? Christopher Lloyd, uh Tim Curry. Why am I freezing Leslie Ann Warren? It's just a good movie. It's just a really, really fun movie. And I saw it for the first time just like a year ago. But when there was it was a Shout Factory sale. And it was in like, I don't know, 60% off or whatever, 4K. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get that. So anyway. Off, not ad. I'm not sure what that means. And I'm not sure who does number 2 work for. I mean, I remember that from Austin Powers, but Iron Man was distributed by Paramount. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But then, Marvel became its own thing and then see, that's where it gets really weird, because at some point the rights shifted over to be Marvel only, and then Marvel got swallowed up by Disney, and then Paramount got left out, right? That's really interesting. I forgot about that. That's a good point, Jody. And Jody, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. It's good to see you. And sorry I didn't see you earlier. Just finished those PCs and possibly got more next week too. Dang. Staffouts. Dang. And Bucho has never seen Clue. Wow. Clue's fun. It's a fun movie. And like I said, Colleen Camp. If nothing else, Colleen Camp. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Let's see. Beyond the MCU, Paramount has also produced and or distributed other comic book adaptations such as The Crow, The Mask, Mystery Men, Sin City, Watchmen. Watchmen was Warner Brothers. Sin City was Lionsgate, was it not? I don't have any of it handy. Kick-Ass, Bulletproof Monk, Barbed Wire, and Secret Headquarters. Okay, Mystery Men, The Mask, I can't remember. The Crow. Oh yeah, I can see the Paramount logo from here. Yeah, but that's not quite the same level of, notoriety as Marvel or DC, but good point. Good point. They've tried. Peacemaker's fun. Did you like him in Suicide Squad? Have you ever seen it? Me? If you're asking me, yeah, I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Patty O'Teal? Who's Patty O'Teal? I don't know who that is. They should evolve the character in the Pangolin. Make him tougher. Speaking of rumors, Rob, you dig that Doomcock cat? No. I try to avoid people who, and this can get me into trouble, because there are some times when I like the Film Threat guys, and they make a really good video that's very well thought out and very well whatever, and then they'll turn around and do this really hateful thing that and usually when I see that, I tune out and I go, I don't need to hear from you. Doomcock is one of those that I don't like the guy. I don't like his attitude, and I feel like it's hard to be negative, or I'm sorry, it's hard to be positive when all you're doing is looking at the faults. To me, it's kind of like my what I try to do when I'm reviewing something or when I'm talking about something is I'm trying to see it from a positive point of view, because I've talked about this before. There was a very large section of my life where I was just being negative all the time, and I didn't realize it until my wife pointed it out to me. And she said, because I was talking about something, and she goes, I just noticed that you're kind of negative all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm not. She goes, yeah, you are. You're always complaining about something or talking about how bad this is or how bad that is. You're never talking about how good something is. And the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, I wonder if I am. And then I would catch myself days afterward. It's kind of like, have you ever had somebody, I don't know, somebody like Bucho? Just kidding. But have you ever had somebody point out, hey, you use that word a lot? And then you catch yourself saying it and you're like, oh my God, I say that word a lot. Wow. I never realized how much I say that word. That's how it was with the negativity. I was sitting there going, I cannot believe I'm this negative. And I'm like, I don't feel that negative. But what was happening is there were people around me that were bringing me down, and then what I was noticing is, oh my God, look at how negative they are. And that negativity is rubbing off on me, right? Like, yeah, of course. I say all kinds of stuff a lot, right? Like I say right a lot. I say interesting a lot. I say, to be honest, a lot. There's a lot of things I say, and that's fine. But making vids which focus on grievance mongering equals clicks aplenty. That's true, Bucho, but that's a certain thing that I call integrity. And I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to dwell on negativity, and I don't want to dwell on the most controversial aspect of whatever thing, right? Like, I want to talk about Star Wars, but I want to talk about Star Wars where it's fun to talk about. Not, oh my gosh, I got to talk about the woke stuff, or oh my gosh, I got to talk about the fact that they're using whatever negativity that you want to bring to Star Wars, you can totally bring it. But I like talking about the positive aspects of things, right? And that's what I try to do, is that when I'm watching something, I try to focus on the positives. Now, I will talk about the negatives, but I'm not going to dwell on them. I'm going to highlight the fact that, hey, there are these negatives, but there's these positives too. Now, that may make me less, I don't know, there's a part of me that feels like I'm too easy on things now. Like, there are plenty of movies where I'm like, I cannot believe that I actually like this movie now. And it's because I'm not focused on the negative. But I don't know. I don't agree with compromising your vision for clicks. And I don't dwell on the negative anymore. So I'm not going to sit there and just rag on something. Now, even with The Crow, it was more about the disappointment and pointing out what those disappointments were. But then also saying that if you're brand new to this series, if you've never heard of The Crow before and you see this movie, you might come away with a completely different viewpoint. But because I know what The Crow is, you know what I mean? I just point that out because that's probably my most negative video almost ever on this channel. And it's one of my most viewed. And that bums me out. And then somebody asked, somebody at some point, or no, it was Filbert. Filbert said, have you seen War of the Worlds yet? And I'm like, no, because it looks terrible. Number one, the trailer didn't look interesting to me at all. And then I hear some of the reviews and how bad it is. And it's like, no, I don't want to just rag on a movie. And on top of that, there are so many great movies that I've never seen before that are yet to be seen. And that's what I want to focus on is the stuff that I want to see. I don't want to chase the clicks. Because what's his name? Oh God, he does the box office things, and he's really great. Dan Morrell. Dan Merle. I don't know if it's Merle or Morrell. Anyway, he did a video on War of the Worlds, on how bad War of the Worlds is. And this guy is one of those guys who I respect so much. I mean, he's one of my favorite single YouTubers out there right now when it comes, especially when it comes to movies. He's one of my favorites. Very balanced, very well thought out. But guess what? That's his number one viewed video on his channel. And I hate that. Now, of course, he made probably some really great money on that because, he's Dan Morrell. But man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer when your most viewed video on your channel is a negative video. All those positive videos that he's done in the past, all these amazing, like he just did a breakdown of 33 Superman movies, including some animated films, and ranked them all. Great video, like great. And I guarantee you it's not getting the views that stupid War of the Worlds video did. So I don't know. That's just me. So no, basically, in so many words, no, I'm not a big fan of Doomcock. Slades, yes, we were welcome, by the way. If you're still here, that was months ago when I started talking about Doomcock. But anyway, yes, we were talking about the Legacy of the Dark Knight earlier. Yes, looks great. I love Legacy. I love the Lego games. I saw the word legacy and said legacy. It's like the Batman Arkham games with the open world, and even the combat this time around honors the legacy of all the TV movies and comics. Dude, it's awesome. It's great. I saw the trailer, loved it. Immediate to me, that's a day one buy for me. Love it. I love Clue. I don't know why you yelled Clue at me, Stofaux, but hey. I don't think I'd even heard of Clue until I started getting on Merc and movie news forums. I don't remember it even coming out in New Zealand. I dug season 1 of Peacemaker, and I like the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. Oh, look at you, mister. I don't like comic book movies anymore. Just kidding. Oh, do I say know what I mean a lot? I'm sure I do. Well, the world needs ditch diggers too. Is that in response to there are people that need to be negative? Because I don't agree with that. We have too much negativity in our world as it is. And that's part of it. It's like, because what happened was, I noticed that I was being negative. I noticed other people around me being negative, like all the time. And it got to the point where it was like, this is bringing me down. I'm not like I want to be better. I don't want to be somebody who like, well, don't ask him. He's just going to tell you how much it sucks or how much, wow, I can't believe the blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be that guy, So, I don't know. How long before AI is going to be digging our ditches? Maybe 5 years, eight tops. However, once Skynet has been destroyed, I suspect we're going to need a lot of grave diggers. Ooh, Blitzo Create Studios. Welcome. I'm not sure if I've ever seen you here before, but welcome. If you're still here, because some people come in and then leave. It's fine. Hey, whatever. Hello. What is your favorite Michael Bay movie? That's a great question. Great question. Because he's done movies all the way from absolute crap to really, really fun. And I think I'm going to say The Rock. Because as silly as that movie is, it's just a blast. It's more of a blast than any movie that I can think of. Although I really like The Island. I thought The Island is really underrated when it comes to Michael Bay. A lot of people will say Pain and Gain. I thought it was fine. It was fine. And partially because you got two people that I don't really like. But also I just thought the movie was fine. Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson. I give or take either one of them. Mark Wahlberg in most cases, I just want to punch him in the neck because I think he's just a prick, you know? Not to mention all the other controversial things that he's been through or whatever, but I don't care for the guy. And Dwayne Johnson, I think, is one note. And now we'll see. He's got that upcoming movie on the MMA guy, dude, man, that's coming with Emily Blunt, and that actually looks kind of impressive. Like oh my god, is he gonna act? Wow. So that could be interesting, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna say The Rock. Yeah, The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson, but The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage and Ed Harris and Tony Todd and, other David Morse and Michael Biehn. God, man, what a fun movie. I like that movie, man. I like it. I don't want to be that negative guy. What do you mean? What is your favorite U-Bowl movie? I don't honestly know if I've ever seen. I'm sorry, I just left Colleen Camp up on my screen and it's been hard to concentrate. I mean, it's a joke, but there may be a movie in here that I've seen. You know what? I don't know if I ever saw House of the Dead. I'm looking at this and I recognize a lot of these movies and remember when they came out. I don't think I ever saw them. I don't think I've seen a single one of these movies. And it's because I heard so many bad things about all of them. So, oh, I get it. I don't want to be that negative guy. Also, Rub, I want to punch Wahlberg in the neck. I'm just saying, he just comes off as an insufferable prick. Does he not? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff and he always seems like he's got a chip on his shoulder and he thinks he's the best, I don't know. I don't know. And there are movies of his that I really like. And I think I mean, of course his best performance is probably Boogie Nights, right? But even he has said that he's like he hates that that's his best movie or something like that. And I'm like, why would you be? Why? That was a really good performance because you played dumb in a very intelligent way. And you made me believe that it was possible. And I mean, I don't know, man. I think that movie's great. I mean, I have it. You can see it. It's right there. In a way, look, I kind of want it in 4K because I love the movie, but maybe a hard sell, if you know what I mean. But yeah. I haven't seen Absolute Crap or Really, Really Fun yet. Here's another thing. Who's the prick? I was talking about Mark Wahlberg. I just don't like him. I just don't like the guy. But I have reasons, and plus I think part of it is because he seemed all high and mighty about getting the best supporting actor nomination for The Departed, when to me it was the writing that was great and not like Mark Wahlberg. Oh, he's doing something so different than you were just yourself and you said those words. That's what it felt like to me. I'm just saying. Michael Bay was better when he was a porn director. I don't think he did he? You're just kidding around. Have you ever seen Michael Bay's Transformers movies? Blitzo, yes. And I'm not a fan. Those are not, again, I try not to say those movies are crap. I try to say things like those aren't for me. And his Transformers movies are uh there are absolutely moments of brilliance, and there's moments of absolute ridiculous like stupidity to the point of insulting my intelligence, and I stopped watching them. Oh, and hey, Mark Wahlberg again, in the later ones. So yeah, it's just, maybe we should watch one next month for the members only. You're talking about one of the Uwe Boll movies? I mean, if you want to. If you want to. Gummo? I never saw Gummo. It's because he's from Boston. Boston is already spelled and pronounced Boston. You accomplish nothing, Star Fox. Just like your dumb name spelling. Here's the thing, Rufus. For a long time, I went at Blockbuster. I went by Rob, RAHB. So, what you got to say to me, Rufus, if that is your real name, which I know it's not? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I suck. Rufus, you crack me up. Look, it's, yeah. I think that stuff's funny. In fact, I think the English language is funny. Like in how sometimes we say things and we don't think about like the meaning of the words we're saying. And then sometimes the rules to spell this word is completely, I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that talk, or things that have talked about this, but I find that incredibly interesting. Like, okay, here's the rule, this spelling rule. And then there's like all of these words that break that rule. And you're like, okay, well, how is somebody supposed to learn how to, write English if nobody follows the damn rules? But Raub. Well, it's just kind of like, when I said pupe, PEWP in Game Dave's chat, and it kind of caught on. And then but, and it's just kind of funny. Yeah, there you go. Rufus the Red. So yeah. Yeah. Also beat an Asian shopkeeper in his youth. Yeah, Shozama. Yeah. I mean, there's that. Like I said, beyond that, I still think he's a prick. So I hated every single new Transformers. Blows my mind the same folks that complain about episodes 1, 2, and 3 and like Transformers. Well, I think a lot of people just, to me, the Transformers, a lot of it is like you get some aluminum foil and you wad it up and then you just crumble that in front of the camera. And that was the Transformers movies, because I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. It was too all over the place. But that's my opinion. There's a lot of people, obviously, there's a lot of people that really, really love the Transformers movies. That's another IP that Paramount has kind of, I wouldn't say abandoned, but they've pulled back on Transformers. I'd like to see them like try it again with, a different take. Don't just go back to Michael Bay. Yeah, Transformers 1 was awesome because you could tell what the hell was going on. I mean, look, it's an interesting idea to make them super complex, but when you can't tell, like if you're doing a close up and it could literally be the guy's crotch that you're looking at. Oh no, that's his head. I couldn't tell because it was all so spiky. Like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Transformers 1 was awesome. Awesome. So, yeah. I just saw what you said, Vinny. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but it is kind of funny. But who hasn't? Let's see. Buiston? I already suggest my movie for the next watch along, and it's Clue. I mean, I'm down. I'm down for that. Sounds like you have truly earned the moniker idiot, Rob. I know you're Steven, Rufus. I know you're Steven. But even then, is it a V or is it a PH? Or is it a PF? Like Price Fister. Not that kind of Fister. One of my friends has a name patch on his work shirt, Raub. Yeah, I like that. I posted that controller in video game chat. Ooh. I'm guessing you've tried it. Look at that. Look at that. Interesting. See, I said interesting again. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I mean, the fact that I just want an Xbox controller that doesn't sound like I'm trying to jack up a car, you know? And not like jack up, like mess it up. I mean, like, it's just so freaking loud. It's just, it's annoying. Annoying. But did make it into my vocabulary. See? That's, yeah. I like to say one instead of one. Yeah. One more time. Yes, see? I like that. Thankfully, Star Wars doesn't have Megan Fox. I don't know. Yeah, the first Transformers movie, I saw that. In fact, I own it on DVD because my wife liked it. But then she probably stopped watching it because I kept complaining. Pretty much any time that came up for years, I complained about it. And I have tried to just go, that's not for me. It's not a movie for me. It's made for a younger mindset. And it just irritates me that there was, but this happens with every IP, right? Every IP. They say, "Oh, we're going to do this movie," right? And it's a movie based on a property, a very famous property. And then what happens is they try to make this movie for the widest amount of people instead of focusing on trying to stay true to the original thing that made Transformers popular in the first place. And that's toys. No. Transformers had a really interesting story. And a lot of those cartoons had really, really good arcs. And I also read the comics, and the comics had really, really good stories. And yet, let's just make about a boy in his car, and then we're going to make the Transformers guest stars in their own movie. I'm not going to go over it again. I'm just going to say, I don't like the movie. It's not for me. So, and then there are awesome, awesome scenes in Transformers 2 and 3. In fact, there's one scene, I think it's at the beginning of the third film, that's so freaking awesome because it takes place on Cybertron. It's really cool. And then the rest of the movie happens, and you're like, oh. But anyway. Megan Fox don't have two good thumbs. There's Pucho. The first Bayformers has character plot stuff, which is basically a Spielberg movie, but with trash action scenes. One made the current Transformers movies, but E1 was sold to Lionsgate. Oh, E1. E1 was sold to Lionsgate. There's not Hasbro Productions that is supposed to make Transformers G.I. Joe movies. Hasbro owned E1. Interesting. See, I don't know anything about the rights to that. And I'll say this. I did watch 2 of the G.I. Joe movies. Also not for me. I'll just be kind and say that. I heard this song a million times. Work kind of hung over today and blew my mind. It may just be the perfect song. Holy shit, it is amazing. It's pop. I don't want to click on it because then, like, what's the song? Metal, hip hop, and jazz, and none of them all at once. I want to listen to it, but I also don't want to get my thing, whatever, shut down. Wait, what did you want for the rare anniversary, Man, y'all are talking fast. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the controller. Gotcha. Xbox 360, best controller ever. I don't remember. I work on a Lionsgate show that was once E1. Oh, Jody. Yes. I forgot that you're kind of you're a little bit in the industry there. I like that. Like I said, I'd pick your brain, but I don't want to put you in that position where well, number one, you probably get that a lot already, and that's got to be annoying. And number two, I just like hearing stories. That's really it. So things that happened that you can tell, great. But yeah, I, like I'd ask, but then I'd be like, nah, I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want you to feel like nah, you do the thing, man. The magic is gone. It's a job. I'm numb to a lot of stuff now. See, that's kind of how Leon talks about it. Like he talks about some stuff and I'm like, "Oh my god, you talked to so and so?" And then tripped her or whatever, and it's like, "Oh my god, that's awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, it was a Tuesday." And you're like, "Okay, I get it. I get it, but at the same time, it would be cool. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if it would be cool. Would it be cool for me to lose my passion for movies? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone is people I work with. Borderlands had a really interesting story, but yeah, I got to get that broader audience, aka nobody will watch it now. Yeah. Next mover for public watch along, The Hot Rock. Hey, dude, I'm down because I haven't seen it in probably because it. I'm pretty sure that I not pre-ordered it, but I special ordered it when I was working at Blockbuster. That's my brother. Uh, Custom doing a show on the internet. Can't talk at. I'm just gonna say tonight because we also have other things going on. Put him on. Nah. And I mean, he streams too, I think. Doesn't he? Tell your brother to get in chat with the rest of us if he dares. I mean, I could. I'm going to say that. Bucho said you need to get your booty in chat. Is he Rob the Smart? No, he's a different person altogether. The idiot implies there's another Rob that isn't an idiot. Well, there's plenty of Robs, but I'm Rob the idiot. I'm the guy that almost died from eating popcorn, knowing that popcorn messes his stomach up. That's why I'm an idiot. That's where the name came from. Let's see. Wait. Whatever voice actor that did Optimus Prime was always my favorite part of the Bayformers. Well, that's just Peter Cullen, right? I mean, that's the original voice actor for the cartoon. Hopefully they pay attention to the Skybound Energon Universe comics and make some movies along that storyline. I have only seen some of the artwork, not a lot of the what do you call it? Not a lot of the I haven't read the comics. I've read some, but not a whole lot. Don't play it on stream. I won't. Rob, you reacted to Megan Fox thumbs like you don't know what that's about. Google Megan Fox thumbs. I don't know what that's about. Oh. Fans are just noticing Megan Fox has a bizarre condition known as murderer's thumb. What the hell is that? I've never heard that in my life. That it looks like a toe. I never thought of the they're just kind of short. Is it really that crazy? Her unique thumbs were down to a genetic condition that causes someone's fingers or toes to be shorter than average. The scientific term, sorry, I just saw scientific. I was going to say the scientific term is called murderer's thumb. Interesting. Okay. All right. I look, I didn't know. I did not know that. It's just funny. No, I never noticed her thumbs. I wasn't looking at her thumbs. Saying. I'll make sure it works next time. Wade, what's going on, Wade? Here we go. Well, hey, we're kind of getting close to wrapping up. We're almost. I only have a couple things. You know what? We talked about Peacemaker. Here's a question. Anybody seen K-pop Demon Hunters? Because holy crap, everyone seems to be talking about this. Netflix movie came out on June 20th and has been on all the charts and is just like lighting up all kinds of stuff. People are just ranting and raving about it, saying the songs are great and all that kind of stuff. Is it good? Because they're doing what Netflix has done. Netflix has never done anything like this. They're putting out the movie in theaters with like a sing-along version, and they're doing like 1,700 screens and like 1,000, or maybe it's 1,700 times. But anyway, they're selling out. Like they're selling out, and apparently the songs are great. But I was like, K-pop Demon Hunters, not for me. You know, that doesn't seem like it's for me. But maybe I need to give it a chance. I don't know. I didn't think Arcane was going to be for me, and I loved the crap out of that show. So, imagine making Transformers and not casting Jim Cummings. I mean, you know? And you're right, Sega Steve. Rob the Idiot or Rob the Idiot. The comment makes a world of difference. But I thought that was kind of the brilliance because I was going on Twitch. And on Twitch, the goal is to get as many subs as possible, right? So I was thinking it could be like, because my friend John Michael said the same thing. He said it could be Rob the Idiot. Like, you, Rob, are the idiot. Hi, I am Rob the Idiot. Or it's, let's see if we can rob the idiot, whoever decides to sub on Twitch. And then I was like, well, that's kind of mean, but that's not what I meant. But it's kind of funny that it kind of has two meanings because my name is also a verb. Anyway. Hammer thumbs. Yeah, see, I've never heard of any of these things. Christian said, LOL, on my way. So apparently he's going to be in the chat here soon. I've read the first half of the Void Rivals books, and I'm at the point where I'm supposed to start the G.I. Joe storyline. I'm collecting those books right now to get started. Void Rivals books. I don't know anything about this. Void Rivals is an American comic book ongoing series written by Robert Kirkman, drawn by Lorenzo De Felici. I don't know. I didn't need to do that. I'm sorry. It debuted on June 14th, 2023. See, new comics, I'm so far out of new comic. Like, I haven't read a single, it's not true. I was going to say I've never read a single Robert Kirkman thing, but I did read through about 100 issues of The Walking Dead. Back before the show was, mundane, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, interesting. Can't get jiggy with that. Well, I mean, you can, but I think she's pretty, but she's not a good actress at all or voice actress. She did pretty bad in Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I mean, look, I've said the same thing about, and I know I'm going to get crap for this. I mean, Billy and Jay gave me crap for it. What's her face? Hot girl of the moment. Sydney Sweeney. I don't think she's that attractive. And I think she sounds like an absolute moron. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She does nothing for me. Oh, I guess I need to turn that off now. Wait, I got another. Oh, what camera do you use for streaming? Sony. Alpha 6000. Yeah. Let's see. Wait. Alan Tudyk did some Transformers voice work. He was the robot in iRobot, one of the best actors of our generation, and he's often suppressed. Well, again, that whole thing came out about, the Will Smith thing, or the actually more about the promotion of iRobot, that apparently he was testing higher than Will Smith, so he was taken out of the promotion. Kind of alluding to the fact that it could have been Will Smith doing that. Like Will Smith didn't want to be outshined, but it could also have been the studio doing that, because who wants to put out the big Will Smith movie and the robot who doesn't even have a face is testing better than your star that you've put all this money into, right? So, in a way, I get that, but also I'm a movie nerd, so I knew that was Alan Tudyk. I knew that was the guy from Firefly and the guy from Dodgeball and all that stuff, right? I didn't actually know Alan Tudyk until much later. Actually, it was around the Firefly time. That's when I learned who Alan Tudyk was. So there he is. There he is, Gamer Tamer 360. That is my brother. Sony screwed up on that K-pop Hunter movie deal. Yes, I mean 20 million, right? It's crazy. It may be good or even great. It just doesn't interest me. That's true. And Shozama asked, have I ever played any of the Tales of video games? No, but I own one. Here's the funny thing. I played the demo and was like, I think I can get into this. Deleted the demo, and on a sale, I got it for super cheap on PS5, I think. I still haven't played it. Along with Cyberpunk, and there's like 4 or 5 games sitting in there that I've never played. And there are even more on my Switch that I bought and have never played. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. When I'm on Twitch, I try to get as many DOMs as possible. Subs don't help. Oh, donations? I mean, I get that. I get that too. I don't know what that sound was, but it was weird. K-pop Demon Hunters might be vying for the title of new Rocky Horror. I mean, that's kind of what it's trying to be, I think, in a lot of ways. I mean, not really, but it's just trying to, be a thing. I don't like blondes generally, but Sydney Sweeney is spank bank material all day. She just got a big rack. That's it. I honestly don't think that she's that pretty. And I'm not trying to be like, Howard Stern and doing a butterface competition. I just don't like her. I don't think she's that hot. Like, I think there are many, very, like, much more attractive actors out there right now. Men and women, Like, okay, You want, what was that movie? Something about you, anyone but you. Is that the name of the movie that came out last year? It was huge. It was like, it was just a romantic comedy. It was her and the dude. He was going to be in The Running Man. He was in Twisters. I can't remember his name. But those two, I think both are extremely average people with a lot of, like, he's got a lot of charisma. She's got a big rack. That's just my opinion. Look, that's my opinion. My opinion. But look, it's, everybody's got their tastes, right? You know, I don't, with somebody that sounds like, I'm not interested. Never have been, never will be. There was, okay. If my friend Michael was here, he could tell you. But there was a girl in high school that just amazing. Okay? Like amazing. She was beautiful. She was absolutely gorgeous. And for whatever reason, she was, I don't know who she was into, but she was into one of us. And it might have been me, because she kept hanging around me. But she was so just brainless. And look, I mean, I'm not trying to be elitist or anything, but man, not intelligent people and just airheads, I don't like, man. I never have and I never will. I'm sorry. It's just like, dude, Christian, if Christian's here, he can tell you. We went to this place, it's called Redneck Heaven. And it's kind of like a Twin Peaks, Hooters, you know, kind of place, right? This is when I was still getting over my sickness. I had the shaved head, and we went there, and I was kind of sitting on one edge of the table or whatever. I think I've told this story before. But she comes up and she's all like putting her hand on me, and I went, "Yeah, don't touch me." And she goes, and I said, "I'm not kidding." And Christian laughed his ass off. But they were all like all the girls there were like, in my opinion, were just completely trashy. And I'm just like, I don't enjoy that. I went because, I mean, for whatever reason, Christian talked my dad into going. And maybe my dad wanted to go. I don't know. I mean, who knows? What do I know? All I know is I was just like there for the ride and was like, these, not my thing. But anyway, that's just me. That is just me. Rob was hoping you could tell us an embarrassing story about him. I'm pretty sure that he has plenty. If he wanted to, he could. And I've probably told plenty. One night with Megan Fox or Sydney Sweeney or a bag of Tootsie Rolls. That's a weird question, but I'll let other people answer on that one. Firefly was so good. Man, it was good. It really was. Tales of Phantasia was literally a PS1 game on SNES, and his mind-blowing Symphonia is even better. It was a sub, and oh, gotcha, Rufus. Sorry. Country 5. Oh my gosh. Okay, so people have opinions. Definitely have opinions. Not Gary. Welcome. We're actually about to wrap up everything and move over to the Discord. But I need to go check on my wife, you know. Sydney Sweeney's average. Yeah. Yeah. And Bucho says Sydney Sweeney's cute and all, but she ain't no Lindsay Lohan. Look, or Lohan, however you say her name. Here's the thing. Okay? And I get it. Everybody's got different taste. But Lindsay has talent. But Lindsay's also kind of, I mean, now I haven't seen any interviews or anything since she's, you know, gotten off drugs and whatever she was on back then. But yeah, she was kind of, whew. Sounds more kink than Twitch jargon. I mean, it may have been. An Arkansas 5. KP Senti, what's going on? I've heard of that place. It's a sports bar chain thing in Texas. Yes. Yeah. Lindsay has a finger problem too. See, I don't, man, I don't know what y'all looking at fingers for. I mean, I don't know. It'll be fine. I'm 40. Been dealing with this since 97. I mean, look, Rufus, I'm not saying anything about what I'm not going to say that out loud. And only because, yeah. I get that. But at the same time, yeah. See, like Christian says there, they spank you if you've never been there before. Don't touch me. I'm sorry, but that's not my kind of good time. You know, my good time is, you know, a good sandwich, you know. Like at least Twin Peaks. You know, when we went to Twin Peaks that time, the country fried or the chicken fried steak was so large that it was hanging off the plate. That's good. I don't remember anything about Redneck Heaven. In fact, there's probably a reason they closed. American made cafes. Yeah. And it's just, it's almost like, hey, do you want it to kind of feel like the 1950s where you can get away with anything? Come to Hooters and you can stare at titties all day. And it's just like, I don't care, man. I don't care. Their wings weren't that great. Dude, Wingstop just destroys. Now, granted, if you say, well, not when you went on happy hour, I get that. I understand that. But otherwise, Hooters wings were extremely meh. Just saying. There for the ride at Twin Peaks. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Kind of a less melancholy version of Cowboy Bebop. Firefly? Yes, exactly. I would choose Megan since she's a big gamer. Okay, this is going to be controversial. I'd probably pick Sydney over Megan simply because Sydney hasn't done anything to her face yet. I despise when actresses do a bunch of the stuff to the face. I don't like it. And honestly, Lindsay's done a bunch of that work. But it's either calmed down or she's had some of it fixed or something. I don't know. Because she looks like so much better than she did just a few years ago. But I do not like the way that Megan Fox, it's, to me, it's sad. And it just, I don't try to judge. I mean, I'm not judging. I feel like it just bums me out. I don't know. Jennifer Love Hewitt. I mean, I've been wanting to go to the Twin Peaks restaurant. I mean, it's actually pretty good food, you know, and really, really cold beers and house beer. I mean, look, shows on, I was telling you. Hooters is hot garbage, and it kind of always has been. Cheesesteak and tater tots. I've never had that there. Wingstop, Pizza Hut, and Domino's all beat Twin Peaks and Hooters wings. See, I've never had Twin Peaks wings. I've only been to Twin Peaks one time. I wouldn't tell Robbie's embarrassing stories because he's pretty open with those. He's very much the can't make fun of me if I'm the one making fun of me kind of guy. That's absolutely true. I mean, he knows me well. But that's definitely the truth. I'm just playing video games with her. I'm not going to be staring at her face. I'll be looking at the TV. I mean, okay, well, in that case, you know, yeah, you want somebody who can, you know, pull their weight. Yes, Steve, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, this is just the last thing that I wanted to bring up before we left. We had talked about this, that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is coming out. I'm very excited. It looks insanely good. It's got Oscar Isaac. It looks great. And the visuals are great. But now Netflix is going to be giving it a theatrical release after all. It comes out. Did I write it down? Oh, October 17th, ahead of its Netflix premiere on November 7th. So this is kind of the same situation as Highest to Lowest. My biggest problem is that the Highest to Lowest they're in restaurant theaters only, which bums me out because I don't like those. I don't enjoy going to any of them. But this is a thing. So hopefully I'll be able to see I would love to see Frankenstein in the theater. So October 17th. Put it on your little notepad and say, "Hey, idiot, go watch Frankenstein on October 17th." So, anyway, so that's all the news that I have. Because we talked about K-pop Demon Hunters, we talked about Peacemaker. That premieres tomorrow. I am excited for it because I hear, number one, great things, reviews are great and all that kind of stuff. I saw the first initial trailer, but haven't seen anything else, haven't heard anything else, haven't read anything else. I'm just going to experience it. If it's good enough, I might do a review. I don't know. But yeah, Frankenstein, October 17th. Guillermo del Toro, Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein. I'm very excited. Cindy, because she is an old-fashioned all-American hot girl. Megan and Machine Gun Kelly drink each other's blood. Well, hello, Wraith. Welcome. Not a wings guy, so explore the menu at wings places for alternatives. I mean, that's true too. If you are that guy, but I'll eat just about anything. I try to, like, when I go to a place, I try to get the thing that it's known for, right? And like at Hooters, you get the wings. I've never tried. I wasn't a regular, so it was like I only got the wings. And usually the reason that you go there is because the wings are super cheap, 29 cents for a wing. Or I'm like, okay, well, I can have, I can almost make myself sick for like $6. So, but it's been years since I've been there. I remember someone talking about Twin Peaks the show years ago, and I remember Googling it since I didn't know. And I was like, oh, there's a location near me. And everyone was like, yeah, yes. And I mean, I just watched Twin Peaks, the show, for the first time, and it was great. It was awesome. But yeah. Megan Fox looking more like Megan Foe these days. Plus, she's been through like the Holland Tunnel, plus Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't like wings, as they call them. I like boneless. That's kind of like saying that they should start marshmallow peeps. They should start marking them as boneless. Because they are. And that would be weird, would it not? If you bit into a peep and there was a bone in it. Twin Peeps, exactly. What is CHIMC? Chimic wings? What are these wings? What are these wings? Ana de Armas over any of them? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know why Megan Fox came into the conversation. It's just that Sydney Sweeney is just so... Whatever. Hey, it's whatever, man. She's not for me. I'll take Milana Weintraub any day over that. Anyway. I told Starfox in the voice chat he pooped the bed and he's just ignoring me. I didn't even... Oh, I need to open up the voice chat, don't I? Appetizers and beer. I like Twin Peaks, but I feel the women in there have lost their souls or something. They hate it there and makes it hard to want to be there too. Well, it's a big difference between being over there on the whatever Redneck Heaven was, and made me feel like I don't know. Didn't care for that place. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. We landed at Bonchon doing that. Oh, yes. A bone-in version of Peeps. I mean, that's possible. They could do it. All right.
Bone-in Peeps? Get the fuck out of here, dude. No.
What's up, Rufus? And Star Fox is already in here.
Yo, Star Fox is ignoring me.
Well, he's probably listening to the Order 42. What do you think about
Well,
Dakota
it's more
Johnson?
important than me, but like we're both here, and I'm trying to be his best friend ever, and he's ignoring me.
I don't know, Sega Steve. Sherilyn Fenn. Sherilyn Fenn was and Machen Amick. But anyway, Laura Flynn Boyle was all right, but she looks like, wow.
Machen Amick sounds like something you have to go to school for.
I mean, look, hold on. I mean, look. I mean, come on. Come on.
Oh, I would put a baby. I'm not even trying to procreate anymore, and I'd put a baby in her.
Wait, did it just cut? That's weird. Can you all hear Rufus?
It made me sound like I'm really far away. Yeah.
Oh, it's because for whatever reason it did that thing when I switched over. See, now do it. Now say something.
Do it.
Yeah, there you go. See, when I switched over, it was coming through my mic instead of going through the audio capture like it should.
Blit.
Blit.
I mean, you're test blit.
All right. I'm gonna mute you for a second. Look, hey, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was so much fun. And again, I want to say thank you so much for you guys who have gave me all the good vibes for my wife, having surgery and all that stuff. She's doing great, and I appreciate it. She appreciates it. And yeah, it just means a lot. So thank you guys. But anyway, let's see. Same time, same place next week, Wednesday. Of course, Alien Earth on Tuesday, because I'll do shorts this weekend like normal, and then yeah, we'll do the thing. So hey, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.